cause I'm just late because I'm a Giants fan.
That's rough. That's how we start. That's how we start.
Yes.
That's how we start our end of the year podcast episode. Hope you got something to drink, Earl, and I know bullshit ass water.
Hey, drinking his most favorite.
Yeah, you ain't lying, boy. You're something else. Let's get this thing cracking. Let's get it cracking.
You're listening to the Hot Seat Podcast.
The Hot Seat.
Welcome all. I'm Sean, along with my co-host Earl.
Yep.
Dave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you know what it is. We're just dads with mics, gamers with headsets, and a whole lot of unfiltered conversation. And as always, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seat Podcast. Be sure to listen, like, rate, review, share, and most importantly, enjoy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows. And if you're watching on that YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you like. Make sure you like. Make sure you
sound
share.
like me.
Absolutely, man. And you can go ahead and check out our website at the hotseatpodcast.com. And be a supporter of the show. By being part of the Hot Seat Podcast Plus, you get 20% off your merch when you become a supporter. I am all.
It's gonna be a long night.
Long night indeed, man. Episode 160, our year-end show. It's December 18th.
I didn't even know. Okay.
It will be because holiday next week, and then I'm gonna be out of town. So it's gonna, I ain't gonna need. I'm not even gonna promise nothing. So
Earl told me we were recording on Christmas Day. That's what Earl told me.
Shit. Yeah. We shall see, sir. Welcome back again, folks. Welcome back again. We apologize because we've been off now for
no, ain't no we. You apologize. You. Sean apologizes.
Oh, we were a team
because David Earl was ready.
Oh shit! I think we need music.
I thought we were.
We are a team, but David and Earl have been ready.
I apologize.
I
2024.
These guys. I don't like these guys at all. Things have a lot. This has been a long. I say this has been probably one of the long. Is it breaking up?
Yeah, that was you. They don't even realize that you recorded. It's like, hold on, who's this guy?
That's great, right?
Where'd he come from?
This is right. This has been probably one of the longest years of my entire life. It started off very rough, passing of my mother, and then it went into a fantastic wedding, and then it went into family stuff, and then it went into career changes. Then it went into what the hell are we at now?
December.
No, it's been a long ass year, bro. It's really like these gray hairs is showing up. But we made it to the end, and yeah, man, it's a lot. And to defend myself, Earl, it costs a lot. I'm rethinking it some days. It costs a lot to fill up a 5 Series BMW. That shit is not for the faint of heart. I'm gonna tell you that right.
You don't have I thought you got a BMW. I thought you had
I still got the Mini. I still got the
Mini.
Where'd he be?
Yeah.
Bro,
I bought the Mini. I still got the Mini.
I thought you had because I thought you had. I know you had the Mini, but then you had the other one. What's the other?
She got the Santa Fe.
The Santa Fe,
yeah.
So when you get the Mercedes?
The BMW happened.
The BMW.
About a month ago. A little over a month ago.
I
that was my Christmas gift to myself.
You ain't put no picture in the chat in there.
I don't. Yeah.
But you put a picture of that Miata or whatever that little clown. You joined the Facebook group and all of that for that one.
Wow. That is pretty true. Dude, good take, girl.
Yeah,
good take.
I had the same energy for the BMW.
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you something about this energy. Bro, when you standing at that gas pump and
you 93?
Yeah, because ain't no 91 available, bro. It says 89, the minimum, which you know better. Say get the 93, bro. Some days now it's dropped down now. It's funny how gas drops now around the holidays. I got there. Actually, I was down home to 757, and that should say $4.29 a gallon. I'm like, shit, I might not make it back home because this ain't it, brother. Shit, I don't even
I choose cars that take regular.
Right.
I'm trying to let you know right now.
I love my baby. It drives. It's my.
It's a nice car.
Adult car. Yeah, we rode out to the Caps Penguins game that we lost.
It's a nice show.
But
what'd you say?
These gas. Yeah.
What'd you say? I thought you just said. Oh,
yeah. The Caps lost that night.
Like our only win of the season. Go ahead though.
Right, but the gas is fucking ridiculous, bro. I'm like, shit.
What is it at? Like per gallon?
Now it's some days I'm usually hovering around 389 or up, depends. So it's it's a lot. So yeah, when y'all ain't see me, I'm out there hustling and slanging, so I can just pay for gas because this shit ain't it.
I hear you.
That shit ain't it for me. But on a serious note, man, we're just out here. The career took a change, positive change.
All jokes aside, how that's been going?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. I had to deal with some managerial type stuff, but far and away less stress. And as Dave would say, when I picked him up today, he said, "Yo, we made it." Yep, we at that point now. We're in the made it status now, buddy. You just want peace and quiet at work, as much as you can. So I know myself. The young man to my right, probably to y'all left, storyteller there has been, up and on the career game as well. His 9 to 5 is in play. We always joke about him not having no job, but dead ass, he got a 9 to 5 job. He got lunch breaks and all types of shit.
PTO, baby.
He got PTO.
Yeah, man. Brother got PTO. So what? I play Madden while I'm at work. It don't matter. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what I do over here.
Hilarious.
As long as I'm meeting the metrics of what Earl put out there for me. You know what's crazy? I'm actually ending the year and I actually get paid off of 4 different titles. I'm the Jamaican that's not Jamaican, but messing with the Jamaican. You feel what I'm saying? That's how you do it, boy.
Oh,
that's how you do it.
And then young Master Earl here, he's on his way to being a doctor at some point. How much longer we got?
Man, that's kicking my ass. That's another reason I ain't been playing.
I said, how much longer we got? I don't care about.
I'm telling you where I'm at right now.
That's actually part of the list.
This is where I'm at. It's kicking my ass. Nah, because
it's not just years or months. It's kicking my ass. That's part of the answer.
It's kicking my because we at the juncture where now you're like at the heart of the research because you have your topic that got approved. So
right,
you're at the point where every facet of your proposal has to get approved. So right now I'm working on chapters 1 through 3. Okay. So I'm still in the same class because my stuff didn't get all approved yet. In order for chapters 1 to 3 to get approved, which right now is about 48 pages.
Okay.
I gotta have no grammatical errors and just pretty much when they give me my feedback back after they corrected it, I gotta make the changes and stuff like that. So
okay.
So I've been working on that. So right now I'm on a little bit of a break. I was hoping to get chapters 1 to 3 approved during this semester, but now since I didn't get it approved, I got to go into the next semester. So my goal is in the first month, because pretty much like I made the last bit of revisions that I needed to make.
Okay.
So I should be able to get approved pretty quickly. But then now I gotta
like he writing a movie.
I think it's 7 chapters altogether, because like my proposal is It's recommendations to improve low retention at the school that I'm at. And the first 3 chapters, literally, you're finding you list a problem. You know, you got to give. You're finding a bunch of research that supports your claim.
Okay.
So that's the first 3 chapters, pretty much, just to sum it up. The chapter 4 is the actual research.
Got you.
So that's where you know, however you're gonna, like, so for me, I got to do surveys and focus groups. So that's the bulk, you know, and then after that you analyze it and then, you know, conclude it. So it's all together. So I think it's about 7 chapters or something like that. So this is the juncture right here in people's doctoral or PhD programs where it gets real for people, where this the part that takes the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, when I be seeing these people,
mind you, this is still his answer. How?
And this is how real it is. When I be seeing people putting on here talking about, oh, I got an honorary for doing because of your life work. Let me explain something to you. The people that are doing it the correct way, we also have experience, like years of experience in our field.
Are you saying they skated?
Yeah, they absolutely. I do not respect no honorary. I don't respect no honorary degrees, and their rationale is because well, the life work. Not, bro. Regular people put life work into their topics, into their profession. You saying it because you're famous? That should put you at a different stat. And then, respectfully, the schools that they getting these honorary degrees from, I ain't never heard of these schools. Trinity, Christian Trinity School of
IDTC.
and it's like a Catholic school, not a Catholic school. It's a ministry, or I don't know, a theology school. But you in music, like what? Like I don't understand, but whatever.
I learned to play music in the church, so that works.
No, and that's fine. That's fine. But I'm saying it'd be like people getting doctorates for business, and it's a Catholic, it's a Christian school, like for theology and all of this stuff. They don't correlate, but whatever.
Talking shit. That's what I'm talking about. One time for Dr. Earl.
With that, I ain't
get down on the get down.
I love it. Let's talk about some. You know what? Let's talk about something else that really don't count towards shit. Since you were talking about honorary degrees, NBA Cup winner,
and that's up the show right on.
Look, you see how Earl just spin into the background?
Oh shoot!
That's not a special effect.
The Homer Simpson in the bush.
Yep. That's not a special effect, folks. For everybody watching on YouTube and for those listening, he just disappeared into the digital background as we gonna talk about the NBA Cup winner. I had to look this up because really I hadn't been really paying attention, and I know when there was at one time
in Bandcamp.
No, right. Speaking of Bandcamp, hey, go check out Don't Worry I'll Wait 4 from your boy Sean Xavier, available now. The Major League Baseball All-Star game used to be whoever won the All-Star game. I think it's still, maybe it changed. I'm tripping, but whatever league won it or conference won it, that particular team, if they made it to the World Series, got home field advantage. I don't know if it's still that. You can let me know if I'm wrong. I can't remember.
It is.
Okay. So, that has some merit to it. So if you are, if you play on the AL side and you happen to win, the AL wins it, the AL team that represents them in the World Series gets home field advantage and vice versa. NBA Cup, not so much. I had to look it up. All you get out of this for winning is a cup, as they would say. He did what in his cup, as Mater would say it, in Cars. But the winner of the NBA Cup, the team, they get about $500,000 each player, and the loser gets a little over $200,000. Besides that, there's nothing else that's really
that ain't what LeBron said.
That ain't even. I mean, it does make them play for something. It's the NBA's way of trying to make the NBA season like really matter. But the tournament itself, it doesn't dictate whatever side wins, because both of the two folks that was in the NBA Cup this year was the
Milwaukee Bucks.
Bucks and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Bucks are from the East. The Oklahoma City Thunder are from the West. So I get in this case. So since the Bucks won, I would think, okay, since they're from the East, the team, it's not an all-star game, so I get it. Now, it would be nice if the Bucks did get to the NBA Finals. If they end up making the finals, they did get into get a home field advantage, or they get a higher seed or something like that. It doesn't even give you an exemption to even get into like the playoffs. So give me your feedback. What I mean,
so yeah, does it really mean nothing? Not a goddamn thing. I told y'all last year that this was the LeBron James Cup.
Right.
That's really what it was. Hey, I got this, you don't.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But let me push that to the side for a second.
Gotcha.
What I really want to talk about before we get back to the cup, and it's within the cup.
It's okay.
Is if Giannis plays like he did throughout this, there's going to be a problem. And I'm not talking about just this year. This is where I took that take with LBJ years ago, where I was like, I'm not a person sitting back downing LeBron because he is one of the greatest players to ever play the game, hands down. But the thing that always pissed me off was I always believed that he could take over a game at any time, and he chose not to do it. Just by his stature alone. Giannis is coming into a zone right now,
right,
where I think he realizes, I don't care who's around me, I will take over this game, and no one can stop me. And when you click into that, and you start having that type of brainwave going, like, hey, nothing is going to stop this team because nothing's going to stop me. That's the way he's playing right now.
Yeah.
And if that continues through the rest of this season, and if Giannis could bring another championship
and
to
stay
the
healthy
Bucks with these stacked teams that you see out here with Boston and all these teams,
right?
If he could run through that and get that chip, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It's a problem. That's why I say it's past the cup. It's a problem years down the road.
Yeah.
Years down the road with that junk. Because I honestly think they set Giannis back in the Bucks back last year when they did the Lillard trade. Because I love Lillard.
Yeah.
But what they had to give up with Drew Holiday and that defensive presence, and you see where he went, and then all of a sudden Boston wins the championship, right, and all that type of stuff. That wasn't just by accident. It just wasn't just, hey, all of a sudden this happened. No, you got certain players on that team that completed it, but you took away from this team. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting because I really don't know who can stop him, bro.
I'm going to give you Giannis' stat line in this game. He played 37 minutes, 26 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists.
Yep. He was the team leader in every category.
Yep. Damian Lillard, 23 points, 4 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
They got 13 and 9 from Brook Lopez. Gary Trent Jr. gave him 13 and 3. And then, Taurean Prince gave him 6, 2 and 2 in 21 minutes. 9, 2 and 1 from AJ Green. So they got some help there, but yeah, he really did his thing there. And if you look at on the other side with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yep. 36 minutes, 21, 2 and 4.
They had hella defense on him.
They did.
Hella defense on him.
So it's to your point, man. I still enjoy seeing guys go out and dislike everybody they play against. That's just me. I've never been a fan of the everybody gets a trophy thing. We're competing. We are competing. That's what we're doing. That is life. That is life. If coming from knowing you, when we met in a career space of sales, it's competitive. You know what I'm saying? It's competitive. You got to go make your bread. And if you don't, and advertently you're not making money for the company you work for, they will let you go. It's competitive at the end of the day. That's what it is. So like, I don't know where we got into where things were like, we just we get into competitive atmospheres, sports, work, stuff like that. And then everybody be like, well, while we're doing this, we all got to be like kumbaya at the same time. Nah, because that's why you have such watered down situations in the NBA specifically. I know the salaries have gotten crazily bloated and guys are getting max contracts that we both believe. A lot of people believe that you aren't worth that, but the market says you're worth that based off of a stat line. But when you watch it on TV, you're like, nah, that ain't it. Like and to your point, losing Drew Holiday was a
huge
deal for them. Because he was that veteran presence, he played defense, and whoever made that decision start looking at the numbers and not realizing how you build a squad. Like it's the proof is in the pudding more times than not. If you look at the teams who won, Boston aside last season, and if you look at it recently as Denver, they got one dominant player in Jokic and a good second tier guy. And then you got some role players. You go back to the Lakers, you had Shaq in his prime, then Kobe there. He had Powell. Got it. We all know about Chicago. The only outlier was like the Detroit Pistons back in the day but that was a different time in the NBA. Giannis he's not called the Greek freak for nothing. Like he's that guy. As long as he can stay healthy, because the matchup is crazy. Because as far as big men, all the big men in the league have gotten pretty soft outside of Jokic. All these other guys that are choosing to shoot threes and won't drive the cup and shit like that, they still waiting on goddamn Embiid for what? I don't know why.
I'm not even going to discuss that one.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand.
We already said that was a loss coming into the season.
Yeah, that was
before any of this happened. So
the audacity.
Yeah. But just to circle all the way back, this was I think, again, I don't play in the NBA, so these guys take a lot of pride in it because it's competitive. So they're trying to bring that competitive spirit back to the NBA. Just for you to do an in-season tournament, what happened to just, hey, bro, look, this is the game you sign up for and trying to kill people on every night. Like, y'all have better.
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm waiting for somebody 10 years from now. They out of the NBA, their career is over, and they like, what you mean I don't make the Hall of Fame? I got 5 NBA cups. like, what you talking about?
He did what in his cup?
No, it's coming. It's coming.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm sitting back like, yo, you only got this. That's because that bullshit didn't exist when I played.
Yeah, it's
Jordan probably would have walked off the court before they even handed the joint. And that's dead ass. I'm not even joking. He probably would have never even accepted the joint. He probably would have just walked off.
I'll do you one better. If this was a Jordan Chicago Bulls time and they had the NBA Cup, he would have took their trophies from them as they walked into the locker room. What was the NFL player that played for the Steelers? Not Joey Porter. Former NFL linebacker.
Harrison?
Who? James Harrison?
James Harrison. When his son won,
James. Yeah.
When his son, I think his son won like a runner-up like trophy or some shit like that.
Participation award.
Yeah, he took that goddamn trophy and took that shit and tossed it. Hey,
like,
that's
that environment that they paint, bro. I'm just like, nah.
Yeah. Like you get 5. I mean, for the lower end guys, I get it. That if you win, you get $500,000. Everybody ain't Giannis, but still, man, it's got to be. Again, we just outside looking in, but I forgot the shit was going on. To be honest, I forgot it was.
It's horrible. Like
I forgot.
Bad, y'all.
No, you good. You good.
Goddamn Homer that sinks into the back. Like,
no, I was gonna say what I had on the stove, but in this climate that we're in, and I know what Dave is gonna say. He's gonna say gay. I'm not gonna say what I had on the stove. But anyway,
you had a hot dog up there?
nah. But
Sausage?
yeah.
You had to go get that, didn't you? I know that's right.
I had to go flip it.
I had to go get that junk.
I had to go flip
Yeah.
But
Hey, fuck that bullshit. Hey, you had a sausage on the stove. Fuck it, I don't care. All right.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's trash. Like, even I seen something the other day or something recently where they were showing like the crowd, and it was mad empty seats.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's sad because granted, it's 500,000. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but to
be honest,
the stars and stuff like that, that's this is some pocket money.
Yeah.
You know, but the cats at the end of the bench, you know what I mean, it's a lot. But again, for the fans, it's like that end season is a joke.
I was telling Dave, and in Major League Baseball, whatever league wins the All-Star game, that team ends up getting home field advantage in a World Series.
That makes sense.
Right. If anything else, I would think if your team ended up had a bullshit record, but I thought a great incentive was if you won the NBA Cup, and let's say you were one of the teams that ended up on the fringe of making the playoffs, that would be your tiebreaker. Hey, you were the NBA Cup winner, so if you were right there, they'll put you in. Now, what would that? I mean, I think that's a great incentive, especially if you're one of the teams that you're in a rebuild year. Because how do you qualify for an NBA Cup? How do you even qualify for the shit?
I think everybody getting there.
Right. So
I believe they're all. My thing is, I don't understand like the losses when it's playing, when it's going on.
Yeah.
How many losses can you get when? It's
they
weird.
try to do like they try to do like some soccer type thing that really don't make no sense. So I don't know.
My thing is this: Lakers won last year.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
Right. Right.
Who cares, bro?
Like, do they get a banner? Like, do a banner go up?
I think they do.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Hang that joint up next to all those banners in the Lakers arena. You see what happens when those people come back.
Yeah, you're gonna get
let James Worthy walk up in there. Let Magic walk up in there. I know you didn't put that joint.
Next
same thing in Boston. Boston was like, we don't hang division championship banners. Who said that? Was that Boston that said
because
that?
We win, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we win. That's that attitude. That's how it's supposed to be.
And that's not even mid-season. Like, you give me this is like maybe 2 months in, if that.
Yeah,
man. It's just.
Can you imagine who the baseball with the Yankees? They got like 26 world championships, and you hang a banner for a mid-season cup.
We're coming to the time period. Yeah, we're coming to the time period where I watch basketball on Christmas, and then I really don't open back up to it until around All-Star game, and then I'm all in. That's I noticed my team. I was just telling Earl the other day. I was like, look, my Bulls can score up against anybody. They just can't stop anybody. So that's progression because we used to get kicked around, period. Now we're at least scoring with people putting up like 130 a game. I've noticed that. But when do I start paying attention? Around All-Star break. So even though you put this cup in there, I'm like, all right. Well.
He did what this cup?
I ain't gonna lie. This kind of, because I know this was created or this idea came from LeBron.
Yeah,
and all this does is just it puts a damper on his career. Like it just like but it's like
just that extra thing that
it's like you contrived this because you knew you wasn't going to be able to catch the greats. And then in your way, you're gonna, when it's all said and done, you're gonna look and you're probably gonna start an argument and try to validate these mid-season tournaments to say that they equate to no, they don't.
We ain't gotta go to a whole thing, but I saw something the other because as he gets older, I mean, in his own right, LeBron for this generation, he's their GOAT. But I saw something, somebody put it up. It was like, they do the whole MJ would never. Let me tell you something about Michael Jordan at the age of 38, 39, 40, which I had the pleasure of having season tickets for the Washington Wizards at that time. Michael Jordan, remind you, retired in 98, walked his ass off the court in Salt Lake City after hitting that shot. took his ass to a golf course, poured whatever alcohol and cigar, and played golf for approximately 2.5 years. Then he became like the vice president of operations for the Wizards and was still doing that shit. Then he would go in and work out with Kwame Brown, shit like that. Mind you, not game shape. Then he decided one day, I got that itch back again. Walked his old ass out, still smelling like cigars and cognac, and was bodying.
Still giving them numbers.
He got injured that first shit because he banged his knee and he ended up like injuring, like it's like an ACL, something like that. So he came back. That second year, he was still 25-5 or something like that. 40 years old, mind you. None of this other shit they had, like all the rehab stuff. None of this he had available to him. Of course, I mean that they're doing now. I'm going to he had his own bread, but you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And damn near on one knee drugged the Washington Wizards to the playoffs. One game where he actually played Dave's Chicago Bulls, and it was not Ron Artest. It was Ron Mercer. I think that's who it was this game. And I believe, if I'm correct, Ron Mercer, he ended up blocking Jordan's shot, going out or dunked or some shit like that, on scoring on Jordan, something like that. So they go back down the other end and whatever, and Jordan comes out of nowhere. And now what LeBron has made infamous, that block from behind, Jordan did that shit on Ron Mercer. And I remember seeing that shit and losing my mind. So whenever I hear them about, MJ couldn't do this, get the fuck out of here. That motherfucker was at the best the greatest 75 all time challenging.
Yeah.
Where your shoes at? My shit's in the car right now. You want to go? Get out of here.
How old was Michael Jordan in his last season?
I think he just had turned 40. I think he was. I think he was 40. Yeah.
So here is the greatest stat, the most important stat of that year. You know how many games he played?
I think he had 81, 79. Nope. What?
Played 82 games. Played every single game.
There we go.
Whereas, let's go to LeBron. LeBron.
We were already off from that.
Yeah.
Remember, he took his personal days already this year.
LeBron's the most games that he's played was in the 20s. He played a whole season, one season.
Yeah.
And then and then 2008 he missed one game, and then 2004 he missed 2 games. And then the rest was like 70s and stuff like that.
Yeah. Every game.
Whereas Mike, he had
that ankle injury.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He had 9 seasons where he ain't missed a game.
Yeah. And that's not including the playoffs. That's not even including the playoffs.
Right. And then you ask him, you talking about, this is the difference between the eras, or just the people. I ain't gonna call it the eras, the people. Mike was ready to fight the coach.
He's ready to fight.
This is where
his own teammate.
This is where I think this is where I think his hatred, not hatred, but his disdain for Jerry Cross.
Yeah,
I believe came when he messed up his ankle, and they was monitoring his minutes. They had him on the clock or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And they said, yo, he gonna only get play 15 something crazy. So he was tight or whatever. And he was fighting to get in. Meanwhile, you look at these cats. Yeah, I'm just taking a break. I'm not playing today.
The back-to-back.
Ain't no reason, ain't no real rhyme, or they say personal reasons. But I ain't playing today. Like, bro, what? I'm resting.
Let me add something to that, Earl. They complaining about back-to-backs now and traveling.
Bro.
When Jordan was playing, the Raptors are still there. They're still where they are. There was another team out there that
Vancouver Grizzlies.
Fucking Vancouver. These motherfuckers ain't even have the same type of travel that y'all had. And they were flying to Vancouver.
Right.
Ryan Reeves.
Right.
Big country.
They were playing in Seattle. You know how far Seattle, Washington is?
Right.
Nigga, I went to Seattle once. That shit is out there. You are back to backs? Sometimes they were taking bus. I don't take buses now. And I'm poor compared to these niggas. You talking about you get commercial flights, all this additional training and stuff there, and it's like, look, what? All right, man.
I know we got plenty of topics, so go ahead.
Let's go. But all that being said, it begs the question. I talked to my son tonight. I looked him dead in his eye because we were talking about something. And I told him, I said, man, I should have started you playing baseball instead of football. What the hell do I mean? So I'm a couple of weeks back because I know we haven't been there, but this has still been something I'm gonna talk about because I know Dave is fucking elated. So the guy that we actually brung in, I say we, like I'm part of the team, the Washington Nationals.
You did.
Once Juan Soto, we did win a championship with him.
Yeah.
And was fucking fantastic time, but he didn't stay with Washington. So he didn't get the bag with Washington. He ended up going from there to the Padres, didn't get the bag there, went to the Yankees, got some money. This motherfucker signed for 15 years, $750 million. That is $750 million. That is
765 to be exact.
765, my bad. 765. That is 9 motherfucking digits to play baseball. He plays in the outfield. He don't play shortstop. He don't pitch. He don't shortstop. He don't play catcher. He plays in the outfield.
Guaranteed.
They are still playing Dave, what's his name?
Payne, Bobby Bonilla.
They have a Bobby Bonilla day.
Until like 28 or 30.
Yes. And for all intents and purposes, they still gonna be playing this Puerto Rican that same amount for all these 16 years. I think right now Juan Soto is 23. I think I might be wrong. Meanwhile, football players, y'all niggas that's fresh out of luck. You get 2 to 3 years. Good luck, buddy. If you were drafted in the first round, if not, your ass gonna be working at CarMax or you gonna own a laundry by the time you get to 4 for 5 years, bruh. I know, Dave, you played.
And 9 times out of 10,
yeah,
it is not guaranteed.
It is not. And I want to give you out real quick. So I had never pulled up. So the average baseball player salary, this says 2024, is $4.98 million. That is guaranteed, brother. Guaranteed. The average salary for a football player, $3.2 million. But the median salary is about $860,000. The minimum salary is about $740 for baseball. In football, someone has been given a license to practically kill you on the field. Baseball, your ass out there just looking good in tight pants. What y'all got, man? Baseball or football? Because I feel like I know where this way is going. What you got?
Baseball. Baseball. Listen, let me say something. I'm so mad at myself because I played baseball when I was younger and I actually loved it. I played everything, every position except pitcher and catcher.
Right.
And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I wish I would have stuck with it because I wasn't bad. I was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
But as I'm looking at my son right now, I'm just like, yeah, I got plans for you, buddy. Yeah, we're not doing football. We're not doing basketball. I mean, you could play it in the gym if you want. You know, if you want to play on the team for basketball, that's fine. Don't even worry about football. But yeah, heavily invested in baseball. Also going to probably play some lacrosse. I'm going to play these sports that we don't typically play.
Facts.
Because need more of us. And I really feel like once we infiltrate, they don't want that to happen. Once we infiltrate, we have yet to find the Michael Jordan of lacrosse, the Michael Jordan of the real Michael Jordan of tennis on the men's side.
Okay.
And other sports, bowling, other things that we need fencing that we need to expose our Chirai into. So
I don't think we should get paid to stab people. We do that shit for free now. Keep going.
now we should get paid for that. We should.
So let me really touch base on something that people ain't catching.
Right.
Juan Soto's a very good player.
Right.
Is he the best in the league?
Nope. I know that.
He's not at all.
No,
Yep.
he's not.
Yep.
He's a very good hitter,
He really is.
but fielding wise, he's not really that game changer in that sense. Now, as a Mets fan,
His ass
am
is
I ecstatic that we got him?
static.
Yes.
Get on my nerves.
And the reason why, more than anything, we took him
Because the Yankees couldn't get him.
we took him from the Yankees.
Hate,
We
hate,
George Steinbrenner, they ass. And
Dave,
that's
my bad.
really
I don't mean to cut you off, but this
No.
it's
Go
a
ahead.
question within a question.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, because I can't stand the Yankees either.
Yep.
Was it worth it? Not because of y'all who y'all took them from, but was it worth it in terms of the investment?
Yes. And I'm going to give you a couple reasons why.
Right.
Number one, New York is all about star power. No matter what sport you play, you're bringing in that star power. That puts the fans in the seats.
Julius Randle, that's not you, but keep going.
So that star power is there.
Okay.
Number two is we're dealing with an owner that doesn't give a fuck. He's rich.
Okay.
He's what
not.
I want to say. Last time I checked, we're talking like 22 billion. I think is his net worth. So this was a write-off. And then the other thing about it is within our rotation, we needed some type of power there. And I'm just talking about just to get on base. That's one of the things that we were missing within this team. We went on a hell of a run this last year, but to have that consistency where the Phillies were scary because unless you got to the bottom of that batting order, you were scared of the rest of the roster.
Right.
Like it was scary to face them. When I've always said this, the Dodgers won. They didn't even win with their whole squad.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yep.
So when they re-up this next year and with the people now that they brought in on top of that, I mean, that's scary. People don't realize in baseball, you got to bring in that full team. And this was a good step towards that. So
Now,
I don't see any loss in that sense.
now did you got
Yeah. So just to let you guys know, that's 16 years, 765. Well, 15 years, 765. Sounds good. But just to let you know, though, he signed 15 years for 765. The best player in the MLB, being Shohei Ohtani.
You got like 600, 700.
He signed
7
years for 700 million. Not 15. He signed 7 years for $700 fucking million.
So 100
but that's the way it should be.
Right.
100
And that mofo, he pitches and hits this year because he had Tommy John surgery. And again, I told Dave, I said, I forgot he was even playing. He was one of the first, I think he's the first player that hit 50. He went 50 for 50, 50 home runs and 50 steals. And he's also their ace. They didn't even do that this year. So he's worth all that bread. So when Dave says,
is he don't have no fish.
Yeah. And here's the other thing, though. When you have a player like that from where he's from, you bring in other players like that from where they're from. So that connection also with Soto and some of the players that are on our team, it brings in players like that into that team. It's the same thing right now. I think the Mets are looking to get I want to he's a pitcher out in Japan. They're trying to bring him in right now.
Because they
to the
have
Mets.
big market. The same thing with
they're fighting with the Dodgers right now because Shohei wants them.
Back in the day when the Houston Rockets, they had Yao Ming. Houston brought in crazy viewership out of China because of Yao Ming.
Yeah, but it wasn't no other prospect. Like he wasn't it.
Today's point, they bring in that viewership. Juan Soto is going to bring, if nothing else, he's going to bring in that viewership. Everybody wonders how the MLB is able to pay so much money to these players. Because it's all regional. It's not like that big pool of money that NFL got going on. It's all regional. New York, LA, stuff like that. Man, the amount of money they bring on that television viewership, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal to us, but them motherfuckers make
Nah, and I say I've
bread.
seen it. I've seen it up here. Like, I don't watch baseball.
Yeah.
I don't watch baseball at all.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I've only started watching baseball when the Mets get to the playoffs. That's it.
I got you.
Or if I go to the games, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because it ain't fun to watch it on TV during regular season. Like, it's fun to watch it in the playoffs when the home team is in there. That's cool. But then also too, just going back, I mean, real talk. What's that guy? What's the guy? The pitcher?
Shohei?
Sure. Real talk. He getting paid more than Soto.
Yeah,
He
he is.
getting 100.
That's all I'm saying. He is.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I know, and then if you extend it out, the end money is more. But I'm like, yo, he's getting $100 million a year opposed to what?
And he's only 7
No,
years.
but my thing is, imagine this is what we led into the conversation with. I gotta look at the options. There's options within that contract there where Juan Soto could walk away. The Mets can actually opt out. There's different years on that.
Okay.
But if you stick with it, just imagine after like 9 years, you're like, I'm done. But you got $765 for 15 years, bro.
Yeah.
like,
Juan Soto,
it's one of those things. Yeah, you're making 100 over here, but this is just drop. I don't need my whole 765 right now. Like this joint is for the next 15
it's deferred
years.
too. They got this new thing now where they're deferring the first couple. It's insane, bro. But yeah,
Play
again,
baseball, guys.
You
So my bad. Last question.
Baby girl to play baseball because this, something.
Last question for did y'all lose anybody?
They about to lose one person, I think.
Who
you talking about? The Mets?
Yeah. Not Marte or
No, yeah, we lost a couple in pitching, but we're actually replenishing that. The only person that they've really been looking at that we may lose is Pete Alonso.
Oh, okay.
That's the only like main person in there that they've been looking at. And that's mainly on the sense of just a main Mets figure for us. But he's kind of past that time period anyway. For what he wants to get paid, he's a little bit past that time.
Yeah. But not Marte or what's my man Lindor?
No, he's there.
Lindor, Lindor, he I ain't gonna hold you. He had some fight in him. I was like, yeah, this little motherfucker.
Yeah, all those people are there. It's really just getting the pitching right and like I said, stacking some of those reserves. But the only person name-wise from last year in that sense would be Pete Alonso if we lost him.
Gotcha.
And it's one of those things that I would love to see him stay, but if they don't pay him what he's asking for, I understand. Yeah. It's been fun.
Either way, motherfuckers are paid. It's ridiculous. It's the Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Sean, Earl, Dave. Let's talk about people. Let's talk about some more losses. So I want y'all to ride with me on this one. I need y'all to prop me up when I need it. Because I finally did it. I finally sat down last night. I literally watched this last night. So for Timekeeper guy, it's December 18, 2024. I watched it last night, December 17th. A movie that had me amped. I remember calling Dave after seeing the initial trailer, and we both was hyped. We were both crazy hyped. And for those watching on YouTube, you see what's going down. For those listening on all of the audio platforms, the Joker Fale Ado. I like to call it Fale Ado. And I want to know, how in the fuck did Todd Phillips steal $200 million? What do I mean?
He didn't want to make it.
The budget for Joker 2, aka Fale Ado, and that's something I made up. That ain't online. It had a budget of $200 million. Worldwide, that film did $206 million. Add in another $100 million for marketing and some additional shit. They have lost about $150 million. So much so that shit was on. That shit was. It was in the theaters on a Thursday, and they had it on digital on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. And I remember seeing it. It was like, hey, it's going to be a musical. I love musicals. This was not a musical. It was not. It had music in it, but it was not a musical. Here's the thing about musicals. Most people in musicals took a couple of lessons so they can fucking sing. Lady Gaga, she can sing. Joaquin Phoenix, he can't fucking sing, bruh. Like when I say he can't sing, he
Lady
can't.
Gaga, she alright. She ain't all that.
Bruh, look,
She can sing.
She can hold a note.
all right,
She ain't Fergie. She ain't
I
Fergie.
know where Earl going because Earl believe, yeah,
She ain't Fergie.
he can still hold a note. Joaquin Phoenix, that motherfucker got an inner ear problem.
Who
Or
that?
something. That's who played.
That played Joker.
This was not a musical.
He's an actor.
This was some bullshit that they greenlit because they did not expect the first Joker to do so
That
well.
is exactly what happened.
First budget on the Joker, I believe, was somewhere south of 50 million, something like that. And they ended up doing like some crazy amount, like $750 million, some craziness. It was so good. And it was the first Joker is like fucking classic. This shit right here, and I want to emphasize shit with 2 lines underneath it. I'm sitting there last night, bro. When I say the anger, because everyone who has ever met me, who knows, right now I'm wearing there's a Batman Invictus watch that I'm wearing right now. We know what time it is. It was such a bad film, man. Like the writing was bad, and then I'm spoiling all type of shit, and then it got sloppy at the end. There's an explosion. He's on trial for murder. And then they do this bullshit ass cut scene. So Harvey Dent was in a young Harvey Dent in it. So they cut it. So you show both sides of his face. So that goes as a Two-Face. And then the Joker gets stabbed at the ending. He gets stabbed in the stomach by the what?
You didn't want to do the spoiler alert thing first?
Fuck that shit. They spoiled it the moment they put this bullshit on screen. He gets stabbed by one of the inmate in prison who is typically the Joker. So what they did was they broke this whole thing. They built it up to tear it down. The Arthur Fleck, he really isn't the Joker. He was just a guy that was in a Joker suit. The real Joker was the inmate who looked up to Arthur Fleck in prison, who stabbed him at the end. Because at the end, after he stabs him, he gives this maniacal laugh like the Joker, and then cuts his face with the blade. And I'm watching it, and Dave called me. He said, "You're going to be pissed off when you see the ending." I sat there and watched this. How the fuck did you steal $200 million? This is why.
So I'm confused. So what you're saying is this was a musical?
This was some bullshit. They could have released this shit on Tubi.
So Earl, this was basically, if you didn't catch what he just said beforehand, a movie that was pumped out that the director, you listen to this. The director didn't even want to make it.
No,
it was kind of like, look, do it or we're gonna do it anyway type thing. And his name is already
on the first one
to this brand.
We're gonna give you this big ass budget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do it, but this is how we want. And honestly, I think he took the money and ran and shitted on him. I think he purposely shitted on them with this movie. And the reason why I tell you that is you can look this up. There's a video for it. It was at one of the screenings. And at the end, Lady Gaga's like standing up and she's so happy. And Joaquin Phoenix is pissed.
Yeah.
And he goes over to like whisper to Lady Gaga, but he didn't cover up his face.
Right.
And you could see him basically saying something to the sense of like, this is trash. Like, and she looking at, she gives the look like, what are you talking about? He's like,
She was
Did
just
you not
happy
just
to
see
be
that
there,
crap?
bro. She was happy to be there, man.
Did
But
you not?
was-
And I heard he left it early, like left the
Yeah.
whole like
Yeah.
for the party. He left.
So that means, for one, that means that they filmed a lot more, and they cut that shit out. And two, here's the thing: there was no CGI in this film, none. So what the fuck bruh? When I say it did not even look like it was worth 200 million, I think most of that
budget
might
was
have went to
given.
the payrolls. They might have
That's
gave 100
crazy.
million to goddamn Lady Gaga. And remember, 200 million was the budget. They spent another 100 million plus in marketing. It did not look. It looked like it had the same budget as the first one. Dead ass. It had the same budget as the first one.
I wish people realize that certain things don't need a sequel. That
So
just
bad.
because the money is there,
Right,
doesn't mean, because here's the other thing. I think they start playing people as far as watchers for fools, and they think the name is just going to get people there, and realize some of us are going to be there just because we're fans. That's hands down.
Right.
But word of mouth is a very powerful thing.
Yeah.
Who is Lady Gaga playing in this movie?
She's playing
Harley
Quinn.
Wow. All right. Well, we're not going to.
I know who Harley Quinn
I
is.
never watched that man animated series or nothing.
Yeah,
Shit, man.
Why? I don't know if y'all know that. Why was she picked for that?
I don't know. I really don't.
I honestly think that she could have fit for it if it was a regular set movie.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, it's all over the place.
And she didn't add nothing to
And
it.
she didn't have, and I heard she didn't even have that big of a
part.
Yeah.
She's saying.
I was just saying that maybe it's me, and I know the character Marley. I mean,
Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I just don't understand. That was the best person that you could find,
right?
But I'm like, but that's what I was saying. Like, I understand it if the whole premise and the goal was it for it to be a musical, then all right, cool.
But it was,
I guess. But and then I guess my other question is, when y'all said or you alluded to, like, it was like one of them situations where this shit had to come out. Was that because of the
studio,
big wigs?
Money, yeah, but big wigs, man. It was like here's a go.
But was it because of the momentum? They were trying to feed up the momentum.
I told you the first movie, the first Joker they did, the budget was less than 50 million. They end up doing something like $750 million in profit. It was a hit. So they came back, and it's not even part of the universe that they're building. So they're like, let's do another one. So somebody was like, all right, so now instead of 50 million, we see what you did with that. We're gonna give you 200 million. What can you do with this one? Nothing. It looked exactly the same as the first one.
Musical. That's what we could do with it.
And it wasn't even a fucking musical. Wicked is a musical.
Hamilton. They tried to turn Batman into Hamilton.
This shit is not, bro. When I tell you, I love musicals. I've played in an orchestra. I've played part of musicals. There's nothing about this as a musical. There is some musical moments, like, and the crazy part is there's no good transition. Usually when you watch a musical, like if you're watching it or watching a film and it kind of transitions into that musical piece. So if you ever watched what is it, the not Gone with the Wind, it's the other joint, I can now remember. God damn it. It's I'm gonna think about it off the top of my head later. But think about the music.
Sounds of Music.
Yep, Sounds of Music. It's like you know, you got a serious part, and all of a sudden it goes, it transitions into it. This shit ain't even have a transition. It's like us talking right now, and all of a sudden I start rapping. You be like, yo, what the fuck's wrong with you right now? Mm-hmm. This shit was ass.
So was it worse than Carmen? The hip hop?
Beyonce.
It's probably about the same. It's probably it was really bad because you couldn't follow it. It was, the editing was bad. All this shit was bad. There was a corny ass sex scene in there. It was, if anything else, the shit was depressing. Like the shit was mad depressing. Ain't nobody really die. Yeah, I was pissed off the whole time I watched it.
You want somebody to die?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was pissed off the whole time I was watching it. And as pissed off as I was, I mean, I'm pretty sure that people were just as pissed off when they went and saw this shit.
What the hell is it?
Craven the Hunter. So
This one we won't be mad that you don't know.
Yeah. So Craven the Hunter dropped there. This is from the Sony verse, which he's actually part of Marvel. He's one of the villains in the rogue gallery of Spider-Man.
Can you take this shit off? Oh, thank you.
So it debuted this last week or so.
What's it called? You said
Craven the Hunter.
Craven the Hunter. Okay.
When I say that shit bomb,
don't worry, it's about to be on the streaming in a second.
That shit. So a movie that what we thought was bad was Madam Web, and they did about 15.3 million in their opening weekend. This shit did 11 million. And to make it even worse, fucking worse, globally, this played in 60 markets, 21,500 screens, and it only pulled off 15 million.
No,
so
let me make it even worse than that. Let me make it worse than that real quick.
Go ahead.
Before the screening even happened, no, I don't need that. Before the screening even happened, realized Sony knew they made a mistake and actually started cutting it from movie theaters.
Yes.
So it's already due to show up at certain places. And imagine it was like, nah, we ain't playing it there. We ain't spending that money to put it in that theater.
Yeah.
They already knew it was trash.
Oh my God. It was. I don't. And to answer your question, Earl, because the big wigs wanted it. The big wigs wanted the bullshit. That's what they want. But we ain't got to stay long on that though, because something I'm not a fan of it, but something that dropped just last night.
Oh, wait, where are you? I was about to stay on that real quickly.
Oh, go. Stay on it. Go and stay on it, because
So it's not so much on the Craven side of things, but in case y'all didn't hear, this could feed into Marvel news, right? Slash Sony. Sony has pretty much stopped this whole fake Spider-Verse thing. So there are no more knockoff movies that are going to happen where we have Craven or Morbius or Madam Web or even Venom without having a Spider-Man in it. That's what hurt those movies. How are you having Spider-Man's enemies get built up villains and not incorporating Spider-Man? Because you want to have your own movies and not really incorporate Marvel. So I knew that was coming, that was stopping.
Yeah.
But the thing that really flipped it for me is now I hear that Sony's in talks to sell Spider-Man back to Marvel. Fully.
A word?
Yes. And if that happens, oh glory. Because I will tell you, you will see Miles Morales as quick as possible.
Absolutely.
In the MCU.
Who would play Miles Morales?
It don't even matter at this point. Give me somebody. But I believe in Marvel.
There's a lot of options there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shit, you can
they gotta be what they call it? A Neo-Rican? What they call it? What's a black and Hispanic?
I say Cam could do it.
Who?
I say Cam.
He's doing it.
Hey, sidebar. Actually, no, I'll wait for game.
Sign him up though.
I'll wait for game.
Right. Sign him up anyway. So Marvel made that because they had to get rid of all that. It was Cass is making making movies like it's the 90s when they were just tearing up your favorite characters and shit like that, which was really bad. And to flip back to the other side, there was a little bit of redemption. I am a fan, but not as massive a fan of Batman, but they go hand in hand. The teaser trailer for James Gunn's Superman dropped, and we're gonna see.
I thought it wasn't dropping until tomorrow.
I mean, what there was a teaser to the teaser. That's
they have like 3 teasers to the teaser.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. But it's gonna be interesting to see, man. Like this is going to be dropping next year. There's
a lot to live up to.
It has a lot to live to. I mean, Henry Cavill set that bar very, very high. James Gunn set that very, very high with Guardians alone. I mean, shit, Guardians alone, they're coming back with Suicide Squad. I I believe in that aspect of it. I still believe that with all this other bullshit they got going on, I need them to let the professionals run what's going on over there for this DC aspect. Because again, that Joker thing wasn't a James Gunn thing. That was a before him and they. It's weird shit.
Yeah.
I need them to. But again, I almost feel like these companies now, like Sony and Warner Brothers, they're so big. They got so much disposable money. They just don't care because you can't tell me that Sony, Madam Web.
Sorry.
Yeah, my bad. Madam
No
Web.
such thing as a mute button.
Yeah.
Sorry. It just came out. It shocked me.
Yo,
It shocked me.
hey.
It shocked me.
Ew,
It just-
ew,
it's,
ew.
hey. It said, hey.
Anyway, Madam Web, Craven, Morbius, Venom. That's the only thing I can think off the top of my head. Those 4 films that you allow them to see the light of day
Quick
and
dumb
see they do
question.
an ass, and just lost all type of money on that.
It's a quick dumb question. Y'all know I don't know shit about what we talking about.
Yep.
But just curious. What happened to the black dude that was in that 4-hour movie? The 5 or 6 hour movie.
Oh, you talking about Cyborg?
yeah,
That was
yeah.
in, Justice League.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Yeah, that shit fell all apart. I don't even know what he doing right now. I think he work at Chick-fil-A or some shit. I don't know.
Got you. Okay.
I don't know.
Just curious.
This is, as comic book fans, Dave and I have seen the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. And I feel like we're going to get back to it. 2025, I feel like it's going to be a good year. But these lows.
Let me ask y'all this.
Some shit.
I think I can. Okay, so y'all know I'm ignorant to comic books, right?
Yeah.
But I think I can empathize here where, because I like anime, but specifically Dragon Ball Z. So like how y'all like Marvel, I love Dragon Ball Z, right? What I will say is I can understand where y'all frustration comes from when you're like, yo, I want the comic book.
What the hell do you have in your mouth, bro?
Ginger. Shoot every day.
I figure it was
It's
just
disturbing me like a mother.
Nah, yo, this is I go to meetings with this. This every day.
He's been looking at you like, this is Dr. Earl right here, guys.
Yeah, this is me. You take me as I am.
Oh shit.
Like I understand the allure. Well, not the allure. I understand like y'all will and wanted to have the movies depict the comic book. Because like I could go back to Dragon Ball Z and they actually had a movie that came out. First of all, that movie, you talking about you pissed about this shit? No.
Yeah.
Go watch that Dragon Ball Z movie. Like you're gonna be.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Earl. I'm
Fucking pissed.
gonna do something, and that is not as intense as what I'm about to do right now. I'm gonna really pull at your heartstrings. Songs in the Key of Life, done by your favorite artist, as in Stevie Wonder.
They ain't got no movie out.
No.
I ain't getting no email.
Rock with me right now.
I
didn't get no email.
No. Songs
they ain't check with me.
It's about to piss me off. Go ahead, though.
That album,
Mm-hmm.
as great as that album is,
Wasn't his best, but go ahead.
No, listen.
I'm sorry.
But you know what? John Legend decided he's going to do his cover of that album
with Alicia Keys.
All right, come on, y'all are triggering. Y'all are triggering me right now.
You get my point, though, right?
I understand. Got it. I got you. That was great. Got it.
Get it out of my mind.
You get my point.
Let's move on.
You get my point.
Understand your question. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that.
You get my point. Your ass would have been like,
man.
That podcast would be nothing but Earl venting the whole time.
Live album.
That's what it is.
On the...
Right. Ain't no way. Ain't no motherfucking way.
Oh man.
That's what that is.
Let me tell you, and you know it's crazy that you talk about Stevie. I was like, yo, they had all these biographies and
they're gonna have one.
Oh no, they will. My thing is though,
Let's gonna play Stevie Wonder.
Nah. Let me tell you something.
That's the Lifetime version.
Let me tell you something. I gotta have some say so in that. I gotta have some say so, and like I want to know where y'all starting from. What are y'all like? Put me in the middle. Where y'all starting from? where the hell are y'all? Like, what are y'all focusing on? And then who's gonna play him? Don't give me no British actor. Respect to them. Don't give me no British
First
actor.
off, if you have a Stevie movie, that joint is gonna be like what was the Jacksons movie on TV? That lasted like if you really having a
real
it
talk,
don't matter how they do it.
I wouldn't want them to put it in the movies like because he got too much life. Like I really would want them to do like what they did with New Edition and turn it into like parts. And I wouldn't even mind BET doing it. I ain't gonna hold you. Because BET so far, the last couple of ones that BET did has been very good.
All right, keep it up. You gonna fuck around and have Boris Kojo playing goddamn Stevie Wonder?
Nah, let me tell you, man, I lose my shit. I will absolutely lose my shit.
Yeah. Let's talk about let's go into some other stuff here. You know, we ain't gotta do a trash. Somebody, I wouldn't say he was playing somebody else, but let me know what you think. Who wore it better? Who wore it better? Damn, that was a hell of a transition, wasn't it? Yeah, who wore?
That was a hell of a transition.
So on the left for all of our audio folks, you see, well, there is a picture from 2002's Martin Lawrence Run Tell That stand up, and on the right you see 2024's Jaimie Foxx. What happened was pretty similar outfits for the most part. Yeah, pretty spot on. But what I'll say in his defense, though, the leather thing in comedy. There's a thing with that. There's thing behind that. Yeah. So when the comedian comes out in all leather, because Kevin Hart has done it, of course, Eddie Murphy has done it.
Yeah, he started it.
When they come and do that leather thing, that's like their seminal like stand up point. That's that when they at the climax of it.
Nobody tell me shit.
Right. And it's typically the one where they're going to give you like something happened in their career, their lives that really has culminated to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And Run Tell That was Martin Lawrence's. He was his run-ins with the law. Him him being out in the middle of the street and damn near losing his life and all this. This is around the time of Blue Streak and everything else when he was on the top of the top. On the other side, you had Jaimie Foxx. Wasn't necessarily on the top of the top. I mean, he wasn't really. I mean, if anything, I think the bigger, as far as actor at the time, this happened. Actually, who's been out there as far as black actor and that type of space, Tyrese is actually because between all the stuff that he's been doing, with the Fast and the Furious stuff and then him doing other movies as well. So, but Jaimie Foxx, what happened was I'm gonna say a little over a year ago. He collapsed, man. And for the longest time, many thought he was on his way out of here. And for those who haven't watched it, I won't spoil this one. But
did all y'all watch it?
I watched it.
Okay, so we can talk about it. Fuck that.
Okay.
Have to watch it.
I will say that it was a humorous at times testimonial. It was emotional, man.
I didn't look at it as a comedy special.
Yeah, it was emotional, and it was a lot of things in there that happened. There's a lot of production in it because it was like you could tell it was shot over a couple of nights. If you're really paying attention, you could see that there was things that were clipped. You kind of like we had here. Then it was one particular one when he was really breaking down, and then you see it cut to the next thing, and you were like, "What the hell?" So you could tell it was shot over probably 2 nights. But you could tell this is probably the first time that he stepped on stage since this happened. He didn't really like tune up or nothing like that. A la like what kind of Kevin Hart did after he got in his last accident. And he was saying like, he was kind of working like the smaller clubs before he got back on stage. Jaimie grabbed the mic, man, and somebody talked to Netflix and he told his story. And it was really good, man. It was really good from the standpoint of you saw a lot of humility and stuff like that. I think he's still by far one of the most talented individuals on the freaking planet.
Yeah.
But as a stand-up, it wasn't his classic I might need security.
Well, let me ask you this.
It was a life episode though, for real.
Let me ask you this. I thought it was good for what it was. Like,
yeah.
Because and I'm gonna pose this to y'all, but what was the reason that drew you in? Like, what brought you to want to see this in the first place? Because it's just Jaimie Foxx. So it ain't.
We haven't seen when I Might Need Security. I think that's been at least like 20 years, man.
Yeah, but
so that's why I want to see what it was. That's all.
So the main reason why a lot of people tuned in, and that's why the title was what it was. What had happened was they wanted to see it. The rumors,
right?
Which was
true.
Some of the rumors that were
and
out
one
there.
of the rumors, because what really brought me, because I mean, I
Diddy?
think at the end of the day, like we already kind of knew what happened. Now you want to know the intricacies of what happened, but we knew, he had an emergency, had a stroke, stuff like that.
Right.
But what I wanted to know, and this is what really brought me, because I wanted to see. I've been hearing Diddy, and I'm like, how does he tie into this? And when you listen to it and you watch it, he had no ties to it. But what I will say is, even though it wasn't the typical showing that he would usually have, I didn't have that expectation going in, if it makes sense. Like, I wasn't looking to laugh. Like, I was looking to really see what happened. I wanted to hear the story. Now, in between there, was he gonna make you laugh? Yeah, because he's a comedian. Yeah. But I was really looking to hear a story. If anything, what I did learn, or what I did get from it, he had a lot of bars in there. One of my favorite ones, like it was to the point I was like, damn, son, I had to watch it again because he almost caught me a couple of times. But one of my favorite parts was he said, AG. He said, because that's how I talked to him. He was like, yo, why me? He said, it's all these bad people down here doing all this bad stuff. He said, y'all, I'm good. Like, I'm doing all this good stuff, X, Y, and Z. Why me? He said, yo, God said to him, he said, yo, those people don't belong to me. He said, but you belong to me. I was like, yo, I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that. And then it was dope. It was dope to see, how his daughters, played a role, his sister, and all that stuff. So it was really dope.
Let me pick up right there, because that's actually where I was going. First, just on the special itself, I believe that this was more for him than anybody else.
Oh, absolutely.
This was straight therapy. And he just let everybody in on a stage of his therapy, which was what's needed. So if you're coming in trying to judge it off of, oh man, he ain't funny like he used to be, this ain't the thing for you. But if you didn't get something from it and you didn't pull from it, like some of the things that you were just saying, Earl, you're not human.
Yeah,
like,
not.
I mean, go check yourself, not him. Go check yourself. Right. Now, I'm going to tell you the biggest part for me is where Earl was going. When you start hearing how certain things was played into his life and how many wake-up calls we get in life, and sometimes we don't wake up to them, and then seeing the talent, not just the support, but the talent. His daughter, bro, I already knew the one daughter was talented, but the one that played,
I was trying to figure out. I was trying to see some music because I was like, yo, they could put this on the track.
Listen, bro,
neo soul
she was it. She was it, bro. And if you close your eyes while he was talking and while that moment was going on, you were in the hospital room, bro.
Yeah.
The same way he was breaking it down, it was like, and that's why I always say comedy is in different realms in a way, different frequencies, I should say. Because to me, the hardest comedy that hits me and the best comedians are the people that tell the truth.
Right.
And then you're just like, oh shit, yeah, that's you got to think about it in that type of sense. And even though you may have not came out of that going, oh my God, it was just hilarious, I couldn't stop laughing. You came out of it going, you were probably thinking about a situation in your life when you were on that edge,
right?
When you were fighting, right? When you were trying to figure out where that support was. And certain people that you thought were going to be that supportive wasn't. And some of the people that you never even thought about all of a sudden showed up.
Yeah,
and that happens a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. What comedian does that?
What, that makes you Hit you with life?
Yeah.
Oh, Dave Chappelle does it.
Exactly.
All the time.
Exactly.
Dave Chappelle does it
And that's
all
what
the
I
time.
was saying.
Yeah.
Like,
He
and
was
he,
the big,
to
he's
me,
the biggest example of this shit, man. Like you talking about a guy that was at the top, and they started to like pretty much just try to force him to go outside of his character, and then he walked away from that shit. And now for this new batch of folks, they think, oh man, he just hanging on to some old shit. No, man, they try to force him outside of his character. And the fact that he did that, they immediately tried to tear him down.
Had one of the greatest shows running.
Yeah, he went crazy. He went there. He turned away. What?
He is the living GOAT to me. And
Yes.
the reason why I said that to you, like, because I was like, he's somebody that I'm like, he did what Jaimie does. You know what I'm saying? And I really, it's to the point where I really feel like I don't think he practices his routine. I think he just gets up there and just starts talking off the cuff. You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
we know Dave do. We know
That's
Dave.
what I meant. That's what I meant. That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
absolutely. Yeah. He goes to the days like, he goes back to George Carlin and all that stuff there. But
you know who else used to do that? If y'all don't know, if y'all ever seen him, God rest his soul, Paul Mooney.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's why
I'll never forget. I went to the last, what was it? I forget what's the famous comedy club in Manhattan. It's like right in Times Square. I forget, but
don't give me no lie.
I remember high school, or no, right after high school, I went to go see Paul Mooney. And the shit that they were saying that happened really did. We're in a small little comedy spot, Paul Mooney in there, hilarious. He literally just sitting there just talking to you. And then what was shocking to me was, I'm like, damn, there's mad white people in here. And I'm like, do they not know who this is? I said, all right, cool. Yo, he was running it down. I'm just like, to the point where I was cringing, like, damn. Like, you got to have a different type of fearlessness to do. Like, I was cringing. And to the point where then, maybe 20 minutes in, started seeing co-white folks get up and walk out. He said, right on time. There they go. And was clowning them as he walking out. Like, I said, that shit was dope. But, yeah. I mean, he just reminded me of that.
Overall, man, it was a really good special. Like if you were going in for just one thing, it wasn't. It really was a person telling their story. You were telling how a comedian was telling his story, and I think the only thing they put it together pretty well. Again, it was recorded over a couple of nights, because you can clearly see, man, it was hard to get through. You got to think about it. You know, he lets you know that he doesn't even remember 20 days. He thought he was out when he passed out, and he just thought he was out for a couple of hours, only to find out he was in a coma for 20 days. And then with that being the case, between he even talked about the fact that Cat Williams was like, hey man, look, he got so much money.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that shit was funny as hell. Not everything is a conspiracy, man. Sometimes life just be lifing. You know, at the end of the day, he had a brain bleed, which caused a stroke, and he just happened to make it out of the shit. But it was one of those cases where he was like, the thing that struck home was, hey, this shit don't happen to Jaimie Foxx. He got the money, he got the cars, he got all this. This don't happen to me. And you come to find out then that those stars that people hold in such high regard, they're regular ass people. The unfortunate part is, when you see a famous person like this have an issue like this, the first thing that unfortunately social media and internet goes to is start poking at their actual humanity and start saying shit that's not true. Somebody died, so the government got him, or he did this because he was joking about it. Diddy tried to poison him and shit like that. And the reason he was talking about this stuff is because he was, Diddy was involved with a lot of folks. He was involved with a lot of.
That's still to come.
Yep, he was involved with a lot of people, so there's a lot of stuff going on. So let's from one just transition to that side. We've seen some things still happening revolving Sean Combs, and it's going to continue to happen until this thing goes to trial. Most recently, though, we've seen like a Jane Doe accuser accused, now named one Jay-Z in an incident when she was a 13-year-old young girl at a after party of the MTV Awards. That
13, by the way. Go ahead, keep it
Sean
going.
Combs and Jay-Z
At the what? She was at the what?
At MTV
Music
Award
VMA after party.
No, after party though.
After party.
But
Right,
she was
right,
trying
right.
to get to no, she was trying to go to the VMA. She couldn't get in, and then they said somebody
party,
right.
Hmm.
But 13, and she went dolo.
So
she went dolo.
Right.
Jay-Z and Puff allegedly raped her while a female unnamed person watched.
Mhm.
And then later on, after that happened, she called her dad to pick her up.
So
there's a report
the males are named and the females not.
Yeah.
And my bad. I'm sorry because I'm just
trying to... But since then, she's redacted some of that stuff. She said it was some inaccuracies. She said that she didn't know the face of the other person that was there. So not Jay-Z. And then her dad even came out and was like, there's a lot of things that I forget, but this is one thing I remember because he said it would take him 5 hours to get to where she had allegedly been picked up by him after the party. All this circles around the fact that Tony Busby, who's representing all these new folks out there, the same attorney now. I'm gonna fuck some people up with this.
Get it?
The same attorney who is representing all the accusers against one Deshaun Watson. Oh,
did not know that.
The same one. So he's like the male Gloria Allred, if y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, know exactly what you're talking about.
And Jay-Z called him out. He was like, you prey on people's emotional things like this, and you play with shit like that ain't really cool.
And tried to get the money before any of this came up.
Because if y'all remember, there was a new accuser for the Deshaun Watson situation that came up, and that shit ain't go nowhere. And I still go back to, and we're gonna jump back to this. I'm still gonna go back to the fact that these situations happened a while ago while Deshaun Watson was in Houston, and they didn't pop up until he decided he requested a trade, and all of a sudden it was 1, 2, 5, 12, 45, 47. And all of them are civil cases. None of them are criminal,
all civil. Quick question.
Is the same thing that's happening right now, because even Dawn, what's the girl from Danny Kane? Dawn.
Dawn.
Yeah. Just say Dawn. Yeah.
Dawn from Danny Kane is here jumping on board as well, because when Cassie came and said what she said out there, she was applauding, say, don't tell your truth, so forth like that. Meanwhile,
mind you, cut the last album with them too. But go ahead, continue.
Y'all got it.
So, in no way, shape, or form, I'm not gonna speak for y'all, but in no way, shape, or form am I saying that Diddy did not do it, because I believe this motherfucker.
I'm glad you said that.
But what I do
what we're not gonna do is like the bullshit that you just feed in because someone said this. Because remember, we were all got them Harlem shaking.
No. But what I guess my thing is, and this, because I kind of want to go back to what you touched on with Jay-Z.
Right.
And then this, I didn't even know that situation with this lawyer.
Right.
The thing that I'm pissed about is that as society, especially black folks, we are quick to be like, oh, they did it. It ain't no innocent to proven guilty. It's none of that. It's like we are so quick to be like, and some of that is just hatred, because you can see the people that don't like him for whatever reason, and it's like you're really quick, and it's crazy because with some bogus allegation like that, you could really mess up. Fuck the livelihood. You messing up people's family. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got daughters. You know what I'm saying? He got little kids and stuff like that.
He got business.
He got businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't do no crap like that. Then then let's go back to the story. So I'm just like, this math ain't mathing. And please don't take what I'm saying out of context. But it's just the math ain't mathing. So this child, 13 years old, went by herself.
Facts. Our friend dropped her off.
A friend dropped her off.
Mainstay.
To the VMAs.
Right.
Or whatever. She couldn't get in.
Right.
Then the bouncer said, or somebody said, hey,
yeah, I
got you. I could get you in the after party. Cool. Just hang around or whatever. Got in the after party at 13. or whatever, and then she was hanging around for God knows how long. Was in a room, got drugged, whatever. Woke up. She can name Diddy. She named Jay-Z. Can't name the other person.
Right.
Okay, but then she called her father to come pick her up. So, as a parent, right? Your father wasn't, and I don't know. I'm just speculating. Your father wasn't concerned when you was gone all those hours, and then you didn't wow her out when she called you to pick her up because she went 5 or however long hours out of the way. Then don't judge me on this. Did y'all see this lady? Did y'all see the video?
Oh no, I didn't watch no video.
No.
So you know this lady she's on the spectrum.
Yeah, I heard that. I did hear, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yep, I got you.
Then
I already got you.
Yep.
No, and I'm not saying like it's
no. I already got you. Just go. Just
the math ain't mathing. Okay, so then let's fast forward to the guy Tony, right?
Yep.
This the part that pisses me off. He is representing so many people, and within those clients, there's somebody in there that is really a victim. Yep. I believe that there's somebody in there that's really a victim, but because he's not, or he has
kills everybody else's word.
Yeah, he's starting to show that he's not a man of integrity and character.
Right.
That it's like, yo, now it takes the validity of all these other people who may be telling the truth.
Right.
Like this shit they made suffer as a result. So what I would tell them is like, real talk, y'all need to drop him as a
he's the face though. Like again, he's the male Gloria Allred. He's the face.
So one thing I loved was how direct Jay-Z and his people came out
right
after this. Because I'm trying to tell you, if I'm not guilty, you gonna know. Mm-hmm. We ain't playing no type of ways of me being sitting back. Oh, don't no, bro. Oh, you prove it right here and there. Let's figure it out. Now, the only thing I will say on his camp side, whoever suggested this, to put out the statement of the separation between him and Diddy, don't do that because that's a lie. Mm-hmm. You guys were definitely friends. You guys definitely ran business together. That doesn't mean you did anything that he was doing.
Right.
But don't act like that was never.
I have a rebuttal.
It was, bro.
I have a rebuttal.
Go ahead.
I think what they're
the way they stated it.
Yeah, I think the way that they stated it, some people can perceive it as if it's like, nah, he's saying he ain't know this.
Okay.
Thing. Like, nah. I think the way that they was trying to say is like, yo, that wasn't like my close boy. Like what happened? It's one thing to say. It's one thing to be like, yo, because what we see, right? You see him taking pictures with him, but we don't know what they do. We're someone like, yo, that's his man. Like they hanging out all the time.
Here's the thing with that, Earl. I'm gonna push back on that. The Rock Nation brunch from maybe 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's about 2 years ago. Diddy giving a toast right there.
So what?
Listen. Now, I said 2 years ago. I didn't say 20 years ago. Remember, this just started to pop off right around that time, and it started to come up. And he's at the Rock Nation brunch, and he's saying it right now. I'm just saying, he's saying it right like that.
Jay-Z. What I'm saying is, him.
I just didn't, and I know where you're going, Earl.
Right.
I never want anything to be swayed. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like y'all never. I ain't saying he was just in school cool,
like,
but
that's the way I looked at it. It was like
the way you weren't just in the same room with them. Like,
yeah.
Now, so I'm gonna tell you like this though. Okay, all of our fathers at some point probably told us about somebody who was hanging around. You know that nigga ain't shit, right? In so many words.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was, and we made a decision whether we gonna still hang out with them or not. Is what I'm saying. Yep. So, yes, you may not be doing what they doing, but your pops told you.
Why you're surrounding us.
Yeah.
Or it's a situation. Or it's a situation where, and I'm not saying that he do it, he don't, but some people fall in category where I don't know what he does after that. I heard,
No, no,
but I
no.
never,
And I
never seen
understand
shit.
that.
Yeah, but
It's
it
just
was
the way
so
that the
prevalent.
statement came
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It was like
yeah.
barely even we knew each other in passing, and they
Right.
come on.
And it
But
was so.
yeah.
I put one like this though.
Come
It's
on.
so crazy. It was so prevalent because remember, Jay-Z also was working with one Robert Kelly. He distanced himself from that quickly. Diddy, he probably knew longer than he knew Robert Kelly, one R. Kelly. I'm talking about a brunch about 2 years ago. They both at this point, Jay-Z is a billionaire. He's already working with NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The shit's starting to come out because by this time, I think about 2 years ago, I want to say that Russell Simmons had already dipped to wherever the fuck he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
The shit started to turn up on Diddy. He's at the Rock Nation brunch, and so I'm saying like you looking at,
but to be fair with that, you could sit up there and say, well, okay, the music industry, especially the rap industry, is not. I mean, it's small. It's big, but it's no. Listen.
He just got on with the NFL
for a second.
last 2 years.
Listen for a second.
Just saying.
It's small. It's big, but it's small. So where it's like, yo, he's an associate. We do music. We're rappers. We have the same artists that do. So we're gonna be insane because even with that same situation, Fat Joe was there. Other people was there that's been around them or whatever. So it's you can make an argument.
All I was saying was I understand exactly what you're saying, Earl.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like they were like, hey, every single event that I got going on and everything in life personally, you need to be at and stuff like that. My thing was even a person sitting back looking at Jay-Z like, I really don't.
I mean, I was
like, I looked at it like, come on.
If he's to go to court and the judge ain't gonna be like, yo, they can't do nothing with that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna add one to this, and we can move on from it. One of the best albums that Jay-Z ever created was one because Diddy approached him and was like, hey, I got this instrumental. You know what I'm talking about, Dave? The American Gangster. A lot of that was done by the Hitman, those guys there and so Diddy came in to executive produce that shit.
But
so
what does that have to do?
Because what I'm saying is when you try to separate yourself from it, because the noise is there. And I still want to point out to the fact is when I say 2 years ago, that brunch, he had already started working with the NFL. And the noise has started to turn up on Diddy.
Man, I'll just be like,
but that's business. They're in the same.
If you ask, listen, this is the whole thing. You asked me, and I was in that whole connect. I wasn't at the party at those times. Period. That's it. That's all you need to know. I ain't gonna say I don't know.
And this is a statement. This is a statement that his. This is a statement.
That's what I'm saying.
This is a statement that his lawyer made. Like Jay-Z has come out.
No, but that's all. But that's all I'm saying to you. You asked me in that same situation. I ain't gonna say I don't know the brother. I know the brother. But I wasn't there at those times.
Now, if Jay-Z would have came out and said like, "Yo, I'm not cool with that man," I'd be like, "All right, I'm calling bullshit." Yeah, the lawyer was doing what the lawyer's supposed to do because of he's on. And then also too, going back to what you were saying with the R. Kelly shit, the association didn't really make sense because if you remember, Jay-Z and R. Kelly had a beef.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So that tour ended because they was beefing. So it legitimizes like I don't know what the fuck they be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things, man, where the one thing I will say, the unfortunate part of this is, and he said it in a statement, that shit, I got to explain this to my daughter who's the same age. And that's when he got at Tony Busby. It's like, you on the bullshit. I got to explain this to my daughter that don't know nothing about this. She has to look her friends in the face and be like, your dad is this and the other. Because unfortunately, and this is the thing about when you make choices, and in this day and age, the internet, that shit, it runs for eternity.
Hell yeah.
Motherfuckers, you
get until the next
you get convicted in a court of public opinion before you even go to trial. People start lining shit up. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you start looking at things, you're like, damn, you too. And that's all it takes. Now, in this case, the NFL has already come and said, hey, we're going to continue our work with Jay-Z, yada, 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 so forth, so on.
Because I think they know
Yeah.
that.
So that's that thing there. But to flip to the other side, and this is something we've said multiple times. Is Sean Combs guilty of some shit? Maybe, maybe not. But if he is, everybody who was involved and around it and knew about it, just like we talked about R. Kelly, all of them niggas need to catch it too. So it goes back to Dawn from Danny Kane. This heifer.
Whoa.
All of us. No, and I actually call it what it is, because what you see is when you get all the big fish, it's always a bunch of people around want to do documentaries and shit. It was like, yeah, I was standing outside the door while he was doing XYZ.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate though.
Bitch, you right there. So in this case,
go ahead though.
So yes, I know he has a lot of power and stuff like that, but to Dave's point, she was just on the Love album, which was a good album.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Go ahead though.
But she now is, you know, everybody's suing now. And now you done threw your name into the ring as well. This is what's going on. But the whole time you even think your moral compass didn't pop up and be like, yo, this shit ain't right.
Sometimes they don't have it. Sometimes go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll cut you off.
It ain't like your career was popping. So
so when we look at stuff, and this is my work, where I stopped looking at situations linear, right?
Okay.
I try to look at all angles.
I like it.
I mean, it's not bad.
I
try to look at it from all angles.
Gotcha.
So one, for the general public, how it can be perceived is like she was just on this Love album or whatever the album was called. Like she was writing for him and stuff like that and all that. And it's like, yo, now you gonna come out and sue? Right. But the other aspect is, you know what? And you just said it. I'm not popping. This is my bread and butter. I'm making money right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how I'm supporting myself. I'm tied in. I don't know what I'm tied in with this situation. Maybe he got me in a chokehold right now where I really can't go. I tried to leave and I can't. We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that whole situation. But now, since he's kind of hemmed up, yo, maybe this is an opportunity, not necessarily to try to get bread, but maybe it's an opportunity to come out to say, hey, listen, I've been dealing with this shit. That's no different from what Cassie was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Now, the only difference is Cassie wasn't with, I don't know if he had relations. Yeah, he was with Cap. I don't know if he was
beating the shit out of Cassie.
Yeah, but I don't know if he had sexual relations with Dawn or whatever. But she did allude to like there being some misconduct. So my only thing is, and this is what I just caution us to do, right? Before we're quick to say X, Y, and Z, just remember there's two sides to every story. And
but you can't say the same thing about Diddy then.
No, I agree. I hear you, but I wasn't. But what I was saying, but what I'm saying is, I said I'm looking at it from both sides. I haven't heard.
You just said you believe he did it.
No, listen. I'm not saying that she's telling the truth or anything, but what he said, you guys were coming at it where it was like, yo, she's wrong and he's right. And I'm just saying, like, hold up. I'm not saying that he's wrong. And I'm not saying that he's right, but I'm saying that she got another side to the story too.
You just said
you're not understanding what I'm saying.
You believe he did it.
No, believe he did what? But
you said, but you don't know. You said you believe he did these actions.
I said, yeah, I believe there's some of the things that he did. I wasn't specifically talking about her. I was just talking in general. I said I do believe that Diddy did some of this stuff.
But you got to think
without knowing he did it.
No, I'm talking about the stuff that has been like confirmed.
But here's my thing, Earl. Like, at what point?
This is what I'm saying.
At what point do you have a moral compass? Like, it's clear that he was beating the brakes off of Cassie. We seen one video, so we can match everything else.
But that's one of the things that I'm mentioning. Like
this is what I'm saying though. But
I'm saying today, that's one of the things.
I'm gonna mention. I'm gonna let him talk.
Yeah, she's admitted as much. So whether you popping or not, your moral compass, you watching another woman or anybody. So your moral compass is so out of whack that you be like, yeah, I ain't popping right now. So I ain't gonna really say shit. while he beating the brakes off this woman in front of me. And it's been documented that we had to clean her up after a party or some shit like that.
Cassie felt stuck in that situation.
Right, because like that's
don't put her in the same lane as no damn
I'm not
Cassie.
putting her in the same lane.
But hold up, you spoke. Don't put her in no same lane as Cassie where, now after doing all these albums, because she also did Last Train to Paris,
yeah, she
and
did
all
a
those
lot.
different things.
She
Did a lot after the group
Yeah.
broke up. That's why I don't want to hear her BS.
Facts.
So you gonna say after all this, and now when everybody's trampling down, all of a sudden you come out with, by the way, I was there for this, and this. Let's go back to the group then. Aubrey O'Day, when that group broke up, everybody bashed her. Her career ended. That was the white girl from the group.
Right.
Her career ended off that joint. Everybody got on her. And she was looking around at her fellow people, specifically the women in the group, going, why ain't you sticking up for me when you were here? You saw it. What happened after that? Dawn stuck on to Diddy, made all these money, made all these albums, got the name for herself, and now all of a sudden you want to come up. I don't want to hear the track.
You know what she made?
Because you weren't trapped.
You know what she made? You're assuming she made. Yeah, you said
she made what?
You're assuming she made money.
She did the whole Last Train to Paris album.
It don't matter.
Okay, now you're going to money, Earl.
Dave.
I'm just taking the BS out of what you're saying on a sense of she was trapped and maybe this was the time of her. No, she wasn't, Earl.
Dave,
she wasn't trapped in no house with this man.
I ain't saying all of that. I'm just saying we don't know. Like, just perfect example. On that Last Train, the Love album, right? Wasn't there a producer on there that was suing him? He did damn near a good portion of the album that he was suing. So that's what I'm saying. You can't assume that she
an immediate response. This went on since making the band.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Earl? Do you know when Making the Band came out, Earl?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I agree.
I don't put her in no same lane with these other people. Aubrey spoke up immediately. Cassie was going through it with them. I'm not putting Dawn in that.
Yeah, this is a classic
case.
She's
dumping. She's dumping
because the money about to run out. So this is a classic case of the money's about to run out because he about to get hit. Let me grab her to them because she was getting paid.
This song would have never came down. She would have cut another album.
That's just wild, man. Like and the people who the part that makes it so
hold on, Sean. Let me say this one part.
Yeah.
Remember, before this thing came down, he had just cut the album. Guess what she was about to do, Earl? She was about to go on tour with him.
Right.
They were about to go on tour. Oh, she's so trapped. Get out of here, bro. Like she was riding the train. Literally. She was with them until everything got dumped. And then all of a sudden, and that's the part I don't want to hear because the money ran out.
Yep.
It's not because you felt like some victim. It's because the money ran out. And that's the difference. I'm not even saying nothing even happened. I'm just saying the consequence was the money ran out.
It's running out now.
That's why you're speaking.
Because Cassie won't pop in. Cassie released it in a long ass time.
She would have been right on that damn world tour. Seen her ass off. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not saying that I'm not putting her in the same category as Cassie. All I'm trying to say is that we don't know everything that happened. I'm not defending this lady. I'm just saying we don't know everything that happened. How it's perceived with us because of the way everything's set up is that it do look like it was on the money, like she was on the money train. But I'm not trying to negate that, and I don't want to negate that something didn't happen. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. So I think what y'all are kind of saying is like, the way it's set up is like, nah, she just on some money shit. No, and I'm like, we don't know that.
No, what I'm saying is the same way you're jumping to assumptions on certain things. I'm jumping to the assumption of would we have heard anything from her if they would have went on tour?
Well, when I'm talking about,
I guarantee you, we wouldn't have.
My Diddy shit wasn't an assumption. That was based off fact, and I was speaking of like Cassie and shit like that. That's a fact. I'm talking about. The
video was a fact.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about things that have been already that has already been proven. Like it was a fact that he shitted on Sean. Like I'm
okay, but it was a fact that she was there for certain things too.
Yeah, and
so is she a bystander?
And that's what I'm saying.
And that's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm not saying that she's not trying to get money. I'm not disagreeing with that. Yeah. I'm just saying that I don't also want to just sit up here and negate that. Yo, that may have happened. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you
That's
on that.
all
I'm just saying. I'm not saying nothing happened. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I
No.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
With perception wise, it looks like she's trying to get off or whatever. But
I just
also,
don't feel like all of this would have been anything, particularly with her, if certain things didn't happen. And that's the separation for me.
And this this all goes to something, and the sad part of all of this is something that if you go to its core, something that all three of us have been told in our life, that money is the root of all evil. Because all from Tony Busby to Dawn, they don't give a shit about what has really happened.
It is.
What had happened was
there's gonna be a face. Yep, there's gonna be a face of person was gonna be Diddy, and they're gonna try to get as much money out of this as possible for whatever.
Money.
That's at the end of the day.
People put money over morals.
Yeah.
And with what?
No, I'm just saying when those this is where I'm gonna see this is where I call the BS, and it has nothing to do with the Dawn thing.
Right.
And it goes back to honestly, back to your team, Sean.
Yeah.
Football wise.
Yep.
You can't tell me that person is the only one in those emails.
So
on this side of things, this pushes way past the Dawn thing. If you tell me this is the only guy that goes down for whatever schemes you talking about, you can't run a scheme.
Yeah.
You can't run a scheme without participants.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where I'm going to call the
out there somewhere, still broadcasting from a place that we don't know about. I'm just saying, he's still out there broadcasting.
For me, I'm just saying, and this is maybe more personal, and this is not even just on the sexual allegation. I always felt like Diddy was a snake ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I can run it down.
Well, Biggie
but I'm saying, and I'm saying I could run it down going back from my favorite rapper getting murdered. Because I always, even back then, I felt like he had something to do with
that's why I said Biggie even knew that.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and then just all the different.
That's why he was trying to break apart.
Yeah. So it wasn't even just on the sexual piece. It was just like I just felt like he was.
No, I got you on that.
Up ass motherfucker.
So I got you. So I misunderstood when you said because I understand that part.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were saying in this.
No.
Yes.
Here's the unfortunate truth about this though. And this is the shit that people don't, it's not even a race thing. Diddy's gonna catch hell for this.
Yeah.
But there's other, hate to say it, man. I don't know what the infatuation is with older, like famous folks and young women. That shit probably goes back to the early 1900s. So we're talking about Diddy now. But if you do your homework, Morgan Freeman got a pretty young ass lady himself. What's the white actor? We talked about him a lot. Glasses. He got into a situation before. He has like I think he had like
Bill Belichick got a young chick.
That too. It's a and look, as much I know he came out about the statement, but Beyonce was 18. It's just weird. This shit's fucking weird at the end of the day. And that system of control,
I think it's more of a power situation.
It really is.
I think
it really is.
These are powerful people, and it's like I think it's
that shit is weird
to exert
and it's
power and sense, which is nasty and it's weird and
that shit's crazy. So I hope everybody gets what's coming to them. And not a good way, because it's just gonna be all good. But I also hope that those who are involved on it don't get skate by. You'll never get everybody. It's the same shit we talk about R. Kelly.
You're not gonna get there. Yeah.
Nah. I just feel bad for the people who really, the ones that are really dealing with this shit, and it's like there might be under the rug because of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like
the crazy part is it's people who dealing with this type of shit, and their abuser ain't Diddy. That might be their goddamn uncle or cousin in their family who work at goddamn Target.
I think
the light of day of that shit.
I think also too where, and it's crazy. So like just to tie it in. So at my school, one of my after school clubs or whatever, we're actually doing this. They're working on a sex trafficking project.
Right.
Where we actually had.
I was just about to bring some shit up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Where we actually had a sex trafficking survivor.
Right.
Came and talked to the kids.
Right.
And she even put me and educated me to stuff that I didn't even know. Then my coworker, shout out to her, she was even educating me on sex trafficking just within New Jersey and New York. Like, I didn't realize that New Jersey and New York area is a pipeline, especially because it's right by these docks or whatever.
Let that happen in the school.
Yeah. It's right by these docks and stuff like that. And especially where I'm at, there's a lot of undocumented immigrants who, like, real talk, and this shit is sad as hell. There's individuals in the town that I work in that are undocumented and some that are documented that their families are cool with them messing with these people because they're documented. And as if like it's a help or an assistance to help them get documented. So it's like they'll turn a blind eye. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but it's like it's really sad. So it opened my eyes to
slavery.
So yeah, it is. It is, and it's sad because these kids are young, and they don't know, and they feel like some of the like opportunities and the mind, the psychological manipulation of it. So that's why I'm like, I can understand now, even though I've never gone through that. I can understand where it's like we're like, yo, why don't you just fucking run away? Like this lady was saying that, yo, she wasn't tied into this place that she was captured at. She was like, yo, the person that captured her, let her roam because he knew that she was gonna come back because psychologically, exactly, he had her. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the biggest part of slavery. That's why I said it's slavery.
Yeah.
If I enslave your mind, your body will follow.
Oh yeah.
If I just enslave your body, you can revolt against.
You can revolt, exactly.
But if I enslave your mind, that's
quick.
it. Why do you think they whip people in front of people?
True.
And that's why they did it.
Go ahead and act out.
Yeah.
Let's transition to something else, man. This shit is fucking world is weird, bro. Unfortunately, we're having to have a conversation about something that's become too fucking common. Just recently, we had another school shooting. Surprise, surprise. Madison, Wisconsin. School shooting suspect identified this time as a young woman, 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
So right now, as far as the deaths, you have the 15-year-old girl who's a suspect and a teacher, who were killed in this, with I believe about 6 people, other people injured, a few of them in critical condition. This shit is. I'm still trying to get details around it, but what I do know from this is this shit is coming way between what we just talked about, and to piggyback on what you said real quick, Earl. When I worked in the airport, we used to see the signs up and say if you saw any signs of like of someone human trafficking or something like that, please alert XY number. Like humans are proving to be ain't shit every single day. That you're willing to take another human through the type of shit that that happens. And in this particular case, you got this 15-year-old girl who opened fire at the Abundant Life Christian school and injured several folks. And I'm still trying to find details. They don't really know why in this case. But what's the problem is the fact that these shootings, these young people still have access to firearms like they do, which is crazy. I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods at one point. I know Dick's Sporting Goods has pulled all of their firearms, as far as I know, since they had that rash of shootings several years back. I forget the school. I do apologize. But I know when I worked there, we had all types of safety shit, safety things that attached to the weapon whether it was the gun lock, all that. I don't understand why, after all these years, this stuff is still accessible to these young people, whether it's their parents' gun or something like that, or if it's a case where, hey, we're gonna gift our young kid a rifle or something like that. And then you interview them after the fact about, well, we always know that little Johnny had a little problem. And then little Johnny shoot up.
Yep.
Am I missing something?
So you know,
You don't give a shit about kids. Now you're talking about us, but I'm talking about as a whole, apparently.
So I mean, you're right on the money. I think first and foremost, if you look at it, it's typically in areas that's not us, right? Two,
right.
Yeah. Two, a lot of these kids, they're not going into neighborhoods finding these guns. You know where they're getting these shits at?
The crib.
In their house.
Yeah, the crib. Absolutely.
In their house.
Yeah.
Now, what I feel like happens or gets swept under the rug or even just overlooked, right? Thank you. Is that there's a huge mental health component to this.
Right.
Because
yes,
a lot of times what you hear is you hear the parents, just like you just said, yeah, something was off, or the police came to the house a couple times, but you know, everything's all right. Like, and I don't know if parents are taking it serious. Like, you knew that your child was doing some shit that wasn't correct, and you didn't feel the need to say, let me get some help. Like, or even some of them was like, yeah, I called the cops myself. But it was like, yo, if that's the case, if you had to call the cops, why are you sending this child to school? Or why do you have guns that's accessible to where this child, like the one guy, he knew his child had an issue. The cop came, but he bought his child a gun. Like, what the fuck wrong with you? And then to take it a step further, and which is why, and I know people, some educators or some administrators are probably like, I disagree, but I really feel like I don't give a fuck where your school is at. Every school needs to have some kind of metal detectors. That's what we live at. Like, this is the nature we live at, and that's because they're like, oh well, we in this neighborhood, that shit won't happen here, or I don't want these kids to be thinking it's the jail. Nah, it's for safety. It takes one. It's for safety. All it takes is one. You know what I'm saying? And real talk, you could have caught a lot of this shit if you had metal detectors. You know what I'm saying? And then also too, schools need to kind of change up how they approach the education. Like, just as much as academics is important, counseling got to be embedded in this shit, because these kids, COVID fucked a lot of these kids up. And school shootings was happening before then, but this shit just made it even worse.
Back from Earl, and you guys may agree with it. I need a lot of the parents to get off the bullshit, like, hey, stay out of my business type shit. And what I mean, we grew up in a time where we were raised, our village was our teachers and our parents and our counselors. And you can speak to this better than me, but as soon as you try to get involved with something going on with one of your students, the parents like, stay out of my business or some shit like that. So there's really no connection on raising this child in any type of way.
Like a village.
Right. It really isn't, because the fact that this young lady, they found her, it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. She ended up dying on the way. So she ended up killing herself at the end, which lets you know there was something else going on. Exactly. Which means her parents won't probably fucking talking to her. And then she might have been talking to a counselor, but they might have been saying, hey, have you talked to your parents about it? I can't talk to them because they won't talk to me. And the shit goes round and round and round. And then everybody wants to point fingers like, well, you need to do this. Well, shit, you don't talk to your fucking kids because you give them a goddamn tablet to stand in front of, or you don't pay attention to this shit. You think it's listening. Okay, just because social media is great and you feel like they're responsible enough and you can't tell them no, be a part of this. There's no individualism because everybody's doing the same goddamn thing. And now your child went out there to find a gun that you're not responsible enough to fucking have because you live in one of those states that are goddamn red or some shit like that, because you don't want nobody to take away your Second Amendment rights. And now this is what you have to happen. And now you got to explain to the potential spouse of that teacher and those other fucking kids who are in critical condition that your child shot and damn near killed them.
Oh yeah, they don't even think about the aftermath. Yo, they shut the school. Yo, we had to shut the school down for a threat that happened in a neighboring town. But going back to your community part, like I literally just telling a parent the other day, and I said, yo, I need you to communicate with me or the teachers when your child is having an off morning. Because there's a lot of shit that happens at home that trickles into the school.
Right.
That we have no idea about. But we end up knowing after the fact when the child spazzes out, start hitting people and trashing the classroom. And that goes back to the community. It's like, yo, let us know. Because we got these kids more than they're with you. Like I have a relationship with my son's a teacher because I know at the end of the day, yo, he's with you more than he's with me throughout the week.
Yeah.
So we need to be on the same page. So what I need to know what's going on in class. If I need to correct some stuff that he's doing in class at home, I also need to talk to him and say, hey, you all right? And he only 6, but I'm still like, yo, what's going on? Even when I'm yelling at him, I always come back and I'm like, hey, you mad at me? And he'll be like, yeah. I'm like, talk to me. Why?
You put me in the book?
Yeah, pretty much. You
Right.
like, but I always go back, no matter how bad, like I yell at him and stuff. I always go back
Get back on the same page.
Yeah, and give him back an opportunity to speak. Like, tell me how you feel. Like, you mad? All right, cool. You could be mad, but I'm gonna tell you why Daddy had to do X, Y, and Z. I'm sorry, but this is why. You know, so it's that.
I always put it very directly. I'm here to be your parent. If friendly moments are within there, great.
Got that.
But I'm here to be your parent.
Got that.
So
Say that.
I don't need you. I don't need you to be buddy playing games with me 24/7. Those moments are earned.
Do you think that's a problem?
I'm here to be your parent. No, not at all.
No. I'm saying, do you think? I meant like in society. Do you think that's a problem?
Oh yes, because people don't know how to separate the two. People love being a friend to their kids.
Yeah,
they love being at the top of that list. And
what do you think that comes from? Or what do you think one of the major components of that is?
A lot of times it could be the fulfilling of them not having it. From when they were growing up, so they try to do that total opposite. And I get that because I have my own stories in that sense that it pushes me a little bit harder as far as being a father from certain things I experienced. But I think it's the way now too, like social media wise. I think it's just that way, like seeing the parents out with each other, the kids with them, and I mean damn near to the clubs now and at certain events, and you're at every single one of their get-togethers, and there has to be a separation to me. Yeah, you get what I mean? And I think that hurts in our society. I'm not saying that you got to be an ass, right? But at the end of the day, my son definitely knows, hands down, I'm your father. Right. Period. Like that's what it is. We have plenty of friendly moments.
You know what I was gonna say, because you're right.
I'd rather you be an ass and save the life of your child than you to be like, I don't want to be an ass. Fuck that shit. Because the world's gonna be ass to him.
I asked him, and I asked you the same question. I was like, what's one of the reasons why
they're also scared of that separation too?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they know how to, but I asked there, I said, what's one of the reasons why you think parents are so buddy with their kids?
Because they have allowed society to dictate what is right and what is wrong for them. And I'm gonna give you the most simple thing possible.
I like that one.
At some point in line, someone said that it is not okay to discipline your kids, to whoop their ass. Now, there's going to be a bunch of woke motherfuckers going to be like, well, you shouldn't whoop your kids' ass as a black person because we've been slaves for 400 years. So we're just demonstrating what the white man did when they were beating us when we were out of line. Nah. We're not disciplining our kids because we're trying to exhibit power. I'm disciplining my son because your punk ass decided you're gonna cut class. Or I'm gonna take one back there. My son, I don't know why. Dave knows the situation. I don't know why it happened. I don't know why. But for some odd reason, my son decided. I looked at my wallet and I know I had a $50 bill in my wallet. But when I looked in there, it was not there. And I said, I know I'm not tripping. And then after asking the question, he took it out because he wanted to show his friends at school. He had a $50 bill. So I had to explain to him. I said, you know, that's fucking. It was so because it was so crazy how it happened. Because first he lied about it, so he got his ass whooped. And Dave ended up talking to my son after the fact. I think Javen was probably
both of them.
Yep, yeah, him and my
Remember
daughter.
we were in Williamsburg.
Yeah, we were about 10 or 11 years old because they were going through that stage where they were. I don't know. You were trying to impress folks out there, and you were doing shit that was going eventually. I have uncles in my life that you doing shit that's going to impress other people. You're going to fuck around, end up in prison or dead. And this was, don't matter, even though it was simple as I took money out, you're trying to impress somebody. And that was what I was trying to convey. But he got his ass whooped first.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, somebody was like, well, you could have talked to him. Fuck you mean talk to him? What do you mean talk to him? I can talk to him if you tone out. You know, hey, there's if your mama tell you don't touch that stove because it's hot and you touch it, your ass gonna get burned. If you cut up, and I've told you what the expectations were at any time, I'm not gonna talk to you again. You gonna get your ass cut up.
Here's another part, Earl. With society doing that, that lets you know the respect ain't there either.
Oh, absolutely.
And I demand respect over friendship.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And to go back to Sean's situation, then I'm going to go to even a lighter situation. After he went and did all that, mind you, I want to say we were at a resort down there in Williamsburg.
Yeah, we were.
I came down to visit. Yeah, and I spoke to both of them, and I spoke to them so directly and sternly. You would have thought I hit them at the end of this conversation, because when I say they broke down, Earl, they broke down. And the reason why I say that to you, it's even with my son, and then I go back to my childhood. One of the biggest things I never wanted to do in my life was disappoint my father.
Yeah,
he didn't have to lay a hand on me.
Right,
we talked
One
about
of the biggest things, I never wanted to do was disappoint my father. So that's that mindset that's instilled in you.
Right.
So take it to a point with like Cam and sometimes even Drea questions me on the fact of certain approaches that I have. And I always tell her there's a deeper meaning. It doesn't mean that this thing was as big as another one. Right. Give you a perfect example. Right now, if I open up my drawer here in the desk, I have a pack of gum. Right. The reason why I have a pack of gum here is because my son, for whatever reason, has this fetish for eating so much gum. He will go through a whole pack easily in 2 days. Like I don't even know what.
Yeah, TMJ.
But listen, there's a reason. Like I always say, you're wasting money. It's a waste. All little things like that. So I remember one time he had came in and like just took my pack out of nowhere and was just eat. So I pull him up and I get at him, bro. Like when I say I get at him, and Drea's looking at me and she's like, "What are you doing? I mean, it's just gum, Dave." And I said, "No, it's not.
It's on the line.
You're looking at gum."
Right.
In his mind, he thinks he could take what's mine. I would have easily given him a stick of gum.
Yeah,
but he went, took it, and when I asked where my gum went,
he lied.
He made a scene.
Yeah,
and that's the part where the parenthood skips.
Exactly.
So
it's not just go ahead.
So let me ask, both of y'all are on the money. So just asking you that, then I'm gonna tell you why I think what's going on. Our fathers disciplined us, right? They lay hands. You know what I'm saying? Like we all got war stories.
Laid them without even laying them.
Right. all got war stories, right? But every last one of us can sit up here and say that we respected our fathers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I said that is because
they're missing.
Huh?
You saying they're missing?
Yeah, but yeah, that's because one, they laid a lot of foundation. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I was talking about in today's society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They laid the but actually they're not. But they laid the foundation, right? And also too, like what you were saying, there was a separation where my dad ain't never sit up here and gave me the indication that I was his friend.
Not
that
at
I was
all,
on
bro.
his level.
Ever in life.
Absolutely not.
My dad
You know
was
what I'm
cool
saying?
as
Like
shit.
even to the
Never.
point where you said, Sean, that Jaimie had stole money from you. My dad used to have the old school wallet, them thick ass wallets.
Mm-hmm. Ripped
Same
up.
thing.
With the money,
Yeah.
you had to put a rubber band around it.
Around the wallet.
And then I would see like he had like a wad of money a lot of time. And there's been a lot of times I go in that room like, damn, he got a lot of money.
Right.
And I'm like, but I was never tempted. You know why? Because I knew better.
Right.
Because I understood. And it wasn't even just the fact that I was in fear of the ass whooping I was going to get. It was bigger. It was more so because I'm like, yo, if I do this, yo, I'm about to let him down. I'm not trying to let him down. Like I can't. And
you knew how hard he was working for it.
Right. And I put in work.
Yeah.
I put in work because I don't care what nobody said. If you're a good parent, your child wants to show you that they're doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they want your approval.
Because they respect what you're
doing. They respect what you're right.
Them.
If nobody else, they want your approval. So it was like, yo, I don't work too hard to build the trust with my pops. So I cannot break this trust. So that's one. So I agree with that. Yep. But one of the things I really feel like in this day and age that's fucking it up is because you have a lot of young ass parents. You have a lot of young ass parents who, and I'm talking about you got young ass parents, you got we're the grandparents. Like grandparents are, I've seen grandparents our age.
Right.
You understand? Like it's a lot of times where I'm older or I'm the same age as the grandparents. So my thing is like, even if we had mom or dad or whatever the situation, yo, it was grandma that wasn't too far. Yeah. It was auntie and uncle and them. It was a village. Somebody was going to tag your ass and hold you account. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have that now. Now it's literally, yo, I can't tell you all of these parents that I feel like when I'm having these meetings, I'm having real conversations, black on black, that I can't have with a white staff in there. I would kick the white staff out and be like, yo, I need to talk to them real quick. And then we would have black on black conversation. And I'm like, yo,
I'm gonna give you one thing, Earl. It's crazy. And I'm gonna push back on something. And this is the unfortunate part. They not even young parents, bro. And listen to me on this one. Mm-hmm. Everything we're seeing there. Remember, this young lady was 15. Mm-hmm. My daughter is 21. My son is 19. Mm-hmm. They're in our same age bracket. A lot of the shit that's happening right now, unfortunately, are the people that are in our generation.
I don't know how they was raised though. And that's
no. I got you though. Yeah. So once we hit the new millennium and all stuff shit here, we ourselves, not we us, but in our generation, allowed all the new shit,
absolutely,
to infiltrate all of the standards, the wisdom. All that shit has been allowed to infiltrate that. So now we feel like at 44, 45 years old, we got to be the friend of our 13, 14, 15-year-old daughter because we don't want them to feel left out. There's no sense of individualism out there. Remember when we grew up, even though all of us were the same, we all had our own individual style. Yeah. We all might have liked the same thing, but Dave had his thing. You had your thing. I had my thing. We all had that. Now it's like, if you're not like this, you're going to be the outcast of it.
Yeah, you're right. It's some punk ass parents out here. Like they're scared.
Right.
I will say this.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. So it's like, so it's going into this. So like a lot of shit that we're seeing right now ain't even from the young parents. It's from our punk ass generation that's allowing this shit to happen. And also, as much as we were smart as we were, go ahead, man.
Don't wait for there to be a situation either. I'm not even gonna allow that. Right. See, we speak off of like reactionary time, and I'm here to prevent those things from happening. So I'll give you another quick story.
Right.
I remember for a couple of years, I'll just say my son had a friend that
on shit.
We knew the parents, everything like that. They had been over a couple times. We've been over there, but I always told Dre, she was like, why are you so moody when Cam is around this one person? I said, because that's that one. And she wasn't understanding me. And she was like, well, what are you talking about? I was like, that's that one that if we get that phone call, I'm guaranteeing you it's because of that one.
Right.
I'm guaranteeing you. And I was like, I'm going to let y'all play y'all little game for a second, but you'll see. You'll see.
Right.
And one little thing had happened, and I
Female?
said, no.
Oh,
This is. So I sat back. One little thing had happened, and I said to her, I said, look, I'm going to tell you. I'm about to make an executive decision, whether you're on with me or not.
Yeah.
And both of y'all can be mad at me about it. But I was like, I'm going to tell you another reason why I think he's that one that we need to separate. I was like, I don't care for how the parents parent.
Gotcha.
And while they were cool, I watched how they parent. Well, I watched how they were to avoid of being that parent.
Yep.
And I said, no. So now it's further, I was past the kid.
Yeah.
And it's more in the sense of there's nothing going on. And I'm not saying that good things still can't come from that situation, because this is the other thing. The boy that I'm talking about, he had an older brother who was solid.
Gotcha.
Solid.
So
but
you saw it.
He couldn't find his way, bro.
And was it? And I wonder, was he solid just because he just was a solid kid, or was it really the influence of the parents?
He total opposite, bro.
Yeah,
like just so in it. And there's a select few that are that way. No matter what's around them, they're able to, that happen in that type of way. But the other one just wasn't. And I was like,
when y'all was younger, right? When y'all was younger, and it's just to tag on to what you was just saying.
Go ahead.
You couldn't go. First of all, you ain't coming over here if I don't know your parents.
No facts.
I ain't going over nowhere if I don't know your parents.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like, you ever get into situations where somebody, your friend will come over and then your parent got a disciplinary? Like, I know your mother. You know good and well your mother ain't putting up with this. You know what I'm saying? And they sit there and they like, nah, you right. Like,
hey, a situation like that, Earl, and you can keep on going. It just reminds me of something. I remember friends that I could always have over, but I couldn't go over there.
Couldn't go over there? Yep, exactly.
Like, oh yeah, he could come over here.
Exactly. Because and it's for that reason.
That's personal to me, and I don't give a shit. A lot of parents do, and I'm speaking. I'm not gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna keep that a part of it. But you know what parents do? They parent in a way because they're trying to what they want to deem as, I'm not going to be what my parents were. So if my parents were strict, I'm not going to be as strict. So I'm going to let my kids do X, Y, Z. And that's where it starts.
That's what I was just talking about.
Yeah,
I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
but you're right.
It's clear as that. It is clear as that. I'll just keep it at that. Be like, my parents not gonna. My dad or my mother specifically, at a certain age, is not now. As kids, you're gonna find your way to do things, but by his letter of law, hey, look, you're not going to be going over your girlfriend's house alone when nobody else is there.
Absolutely.
I don't give a shit how many A's she got on her report card.
Right.
Your young, horny ass ain't going over to your girl's house while ain't nobody else is there.
Ain't nobody there.
So you can go down and goddamn dry hump somebody. We not doing that shit here.
Right.
But some parents will be like, well, my mom was, or my dad, or my mom, or whatever, they were so harsh back then. So you'll be fine. I think I raised them the right way. Bitch, they got the same hormones. Somebody trying to fuck.
But you know what, Sean?
You know how to do it.
And that's a great point. But I also want to push, right, and say our core and our foundation was our parent. Like, they showed us that, you have to have, especially the fellas, right?
Right.
Excuse me. The fuck? You have to. That's a neck that's getting on my neck. You have to have and evoke discipline. Like you gotta have it. You can't skimp. You can't
He
skimp
felt
on
it. He felt his dad.
No, he's
That was trying to spit out your ass.
you stupid. It was like you have to evoke discipline, right? Especially with the fellas. You have to set that tone. You know what I'm saying? You can't skimp on it in no way. I don't care what generation you raising a kid, yo, that's consistent. You got to have discipline. But we are dealing with a different beast.
Right.
And we have to evolve, not lose the foundation, keep that foundation, but we also got to evolve how we're parenting because we're up against a different beast. What we're up against is these kids are exposed to way more shit, way quicker than we ever was. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many other devices that we got to deal with, from, drugs. I mean, we saw drugs, but all these different type of drugs, mental health, sexuality, YouTube, kids and violence and all this shit, these video games, like it's so much shit. But where I call and where I say the discipline lacks is because a lot of these punk ass parents don't want to be parents, they want to be their friends. Because I'll be sitting up here, why does a fucking 6-year-old have a fucking phone? You sitting up here telling me, yo, you can't take a tablet that you paid for, that you bought out of your hard-earned money from your kid, and your kid catch an attitude, and now you sitting up here negotiating. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I wish this.
Rashawn, run now.
You hear me? Some shit that I paid for, that'd be the last. The last. That's why I said, like, it's a lot of punk ass parents. I don't understand it, but like I said, the discipline got to stay there, but we also have to evolve because we're raising our kids in a time that's way different and a little bit more difficult because of what these kids are exposed to and what's at their devices.
Let me tell you something, Sean. You might have to break this into a part 1, part 2.
All I gotta say is this though, because as Earl was talking, and you both know you're going to remember this. You remember the episode on Living Color when Damon Wayans was in the jail and he was giving all the big words and shit. He had a goddamn. That's what Earl looked like just now. He was like, "We don't develop our kids into this phenomenal being who's gonna be this." These punks, I was like, "Yo, my brother right there is preaching. I just want to get you a goofy or something like that."
You stupid.
Left foot
podcast with your boy Sean Earl Dave, man. Yeah, man. Man. Oh man, let's transition to a much lighter topic. But it actually transitions really well from what Dave was talking about.
Man.
I mean, from Earl was talking about into this when we're talking about parents and kids. And we're gonna start on one side, we're gonna move to the other, and one of them being the album GNX, where we had a parent was disciplining his child. And what I mean by that, Kendrick Lamar disciplining out of goddamn Drake again. A surprise mixtape album, whatever the fuck you want to call it, for GNX that Kendrick dropped. That was
bullying.
That shit is so good though. And
start to finish
who are listening, it says West Side of Resurrection. We got GNX, and after that we had Uncle Snoop drop The Missionary. If you guys are old enough, you remember Doggy Style, so he gave us Missionary. And I will say this, and we can talk about both, but just on the Missionary side, it is so
I like
lovely.
what you did there. Just on the Missionary side.
Right. Yeah. It is so lovely to hear quality production. Like,
so his next album gonna be Fellatio or some shit?
I don't know, but the shit was
20 years from now.
It's going down.
The shit was cinematic. And I want to say real quick, I had a bone to pick with my brother here, Storyteller. Because he was like, all he said to me was, "Hey, you heard Snoop album?" Yeah. I'm like, "Not yet."
I didn't know he had an album.
That's what he said. He's like, "Yeah, you heard this album yet?" No. So he knows how I feel about production and intros and shit. So no, I haven't listened to it, man. I've been tied up at work. Yeah, man, it's good. It's pretty good. It's really solid. That's what he said. He was like a really blase.
Just listen to it, hit him back.
Yeah. Man, I hit track 1. That shit hit. I stopped in the parking lot that I was driving off of to call him in anger. Was like, Why the fuck you didn't tell me it started like this?
It sure enough did.
And
I ain't even listened to it yet.
there is nothing like a Dr.
around the
Dre produced album. He might be one of, for hip hop, or maybe the.
I mean, that's undeniable.
No, for hip hop.
Yeah,
Hip-hop.
he is.
Greatest hip hop producer there ever is.
That's arguable. That's
And we're not talking about some West Side shit. We're just talking about
all together. Yeah,
listening to it. And Earl, you can appreciate this because the instrumentation of it,
without
it's
telling
so
me,
musically sound.
Hold on.
It is, there's samples involved and shit like that, but the shit is so, you would think you're listening to a live fucking band.
So
it's fucking fantastic.
So without giving it away, because like now I'm excited and shit. So
right.
Because I might listen to it. No, I'm not even going to rob myself for that. I'm gonna wait till I get in the car so I can blast.
Dr. Dre's drums is a real thing. Just let you know. But go ahead.
What I know the production was gonna be good. Right. What I kind of want to understand.
Yes.
No. Yes. Nah. What I want to understand is this a typical West Coast production, or is this like
no?
This
is
is
totally different. It's like totally different than what you expect from the album being called Missionary.
Right.
And you go back to thinking Doggy Style.
Right.
So it's some grown folk shit.
It's some grown folk shit.
And that's what I love about it.
Yep.
That's what I love about it.
So it's
the most grown folk song on there to me, and there's a couple, and Dave may have a different one. The most grown folk song on there for me, from a hip hop standpoint, is probably my favorite song off the entire album, which is track 10. It's Skyscrapers. It has
Skyscraper is crazy. I don't even have to look.
And fucking Method Man.
Woo!
Nigga. Gosh almighty. That's all you need to know right there.
That's your hits.
Earl, I love you. I know you love double entendres. A double entendres. Triple. What's the next one? Quintuplets. Goddamn, I don't know what you want to call this shit. This shit is so, man, listen. Then you got Gunsmoke with Eminem, 50 Cent. We don't hear 50 Cent that much. Bruh. You got BJ the Chicago Kid on that bitch.
Word.
You got
Bilal on there?
Bruh, no.
You got on that joint.
Let me see what
you got Tom Petty on this bitch.
Yep. But Jelly Roll was good.
You got Sting on this. Not the wrestler Sting.
Cussing.
He said nigga.
It is.
But did you say it to it up? But did you?
Snoop has teamed up with Pharrell, which was a dope album. He's done stuff with Madison like and those guys. There's nothing like a Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre album.
Do y'all think that this was some beats that was remnants of left over from
the
album that never came out from Dre?
Nah.
It's totally different.
Okay. This is something that I can identify with. Was when I get into the studio with artists I worked with before, I know what they like. When I get into the studio and with Dave, or if I have a beat and I say, you know what? I know where it goes. This is a Dave beat. This is scratch that. I please forgive me.
So I guess I'm just trying to get
This is for a goddamn Seon. This is for a goddamn Trap Rob Miss Day. You know.
So real quick, let me ask y'all this. This is not going off of what you just said.
Right.
When you heard these tracks, these are not Snoop beats, right?
No, they are.
No. Well, no. I mean, I'm talking about traditional Snoop beats.
Let me do this for you. There's an interview. Shoot, I'd have to look exactly who it's with. It's from some type of production out on the West Coast. Okay. This girl is interviewing Dre and Snoop. It's online. It's probably about 13 to 15 minutes long.
Were they rapping?
No. They're just being interviewed.
Gotcha.
And if you check that out and find a reason for certain tracks being on the album,
Yeah.
It'll open up your mind to the sound of the album.
Gotcha.
Because there's certain reasons why, like, for example, there's a specific reason why Sting is on the album.
Right.
You know, there's a specific reason why he wanted to work with Jelly Roll and his sound.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So there's so many things that are moving parts within it that even after I listened to that, I went back and listened and said, yep, okay. There's certain things that Dre tried on the album, and I was like, you know what? And he admitted it years ago, he was never done.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now. So y'all got me excited. So I went on Wikipedia to see who were the writers and what was the production.
Yep.
All I know right now is I see Ahmad Jamal on here.
Yep.
So I'm sold.
Yep.
Because I already know what type time.
Yeah. So on the flip side, so we really dove into Missionary. On the other side, we're not going to just pass over this. Sorry, my bad. November 22nd, 2024. So the calculation of this shit is so fucking crazy.
Shit too?
What else? Do y'all know what else happened on November 22nd?
What year?
They don't even matter. November 20. You know what else happened on November 22nd?
Nah.
So this is the shit that makes
Thanksgiving?
me love.
Actually, I
Kendrick
did know
Lamar.
this.
Yeah. You know
everything's so strategic. There was hold on.
Yeah, you know something. Yeah.
Was that his court date?
No, it's deeper than that, brother. And this is something we may do as fans, but it happened in a way you be like, nah, this can't be a coincidence. On November 22nd of 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. That's when GNX dropped.
Yeah, so kind of different things.
Yeah, that's not a coincidence that Kendrick decided to drop a surprise album on that date. When, of course, we even seen him whoop the industry's golden boy ass all summer. And man, oh man, if you loved hip hop and you just love spitting and rap, this shit starts off whacked out murals and it just takes you from there.
So was you trying to say that he was saying that this was going to be an assassination?
I don't know what he's doing. I'm just saying, it ain't, man, look, this is Kendrick. You just never know what it is. But you could have, it's kind of like when Jay would drop Blueprint, when he dropped Blueprint on like 9/11. That shit was just like so. It's strategic what they do, man. Same reason, I mean, it wasn't as well received. He dropped Magna Carta Holy Grail on July 4th. That didn't work out as well. But GNX, man, Grand National, and then the Grand National is a very unique vehicle. Not too many was made of them. And he has to say, all I ever wanted was a black Grand National. It's a West Coast album through and through, but spit and
they were saying even the car that's in there.
Yeah,
the car had significant. I forgot, somebody broke it down, but the car had significance to,
like, that's the one that Wayne had.
Nah,
similar to the one that Wayne was leaning up against.
Yeah, but it was something else. Like that car.
Yeah,
was only like that came out the year that he was born, I think.
Yeah, it's always.
And then it was like it was only. It was not too many made.
Too many made, yeah.
Because they stopped
production of it.
Yeah, I think they did like 100 maybe or something like that. We were just talking about Snoop, but what was when you first heard that? Yo, what?
Which one? Kendrick?
GNX, yeah. What the hell?
Hands down, bro.
Right. I didn't even know.
Hands down. Let me tell you something.
Right.
Ask my wife and my son how many times I listened to that joint straight.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
because he was cursing me out, but like, yo, did you listen?
Bruh.
Did you listen?
Bruh. Like the mind of this guy, of everybody getting on him for 2 weeks because he wouldn't respond, and then he puts out a movie that is still being written.
Right.
And the truth to
right.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. You got more than that. The album's great to me. It just rides right through. There's certain songs that every single time I hear it still now, it gets even better. Luther is one of them.
That's my shit.
The Luther jump. Every time I hear that song,
Heartbreak or whatever.
Every time I hear that song,
that's my
shit. But yeah, it's the ride to type joint.
Yeah.
It's the ride to. But let me just put this out there, and then y'all just go at it. This ain't the album.
Yeah, I believe it.
Nah,
this ain't the album.
The real album going to drop after the Super Bowl.
There's a track on this that I told y'all about over a year ago.
Yeah.
The track is the reincarnated one. Yeah. That track, they say he had that track since Mr. Morale. Yeah. He just didn't put it on the album. And when you break down that track, let me just make sure I get it right. The first verse, he's breaking down, I want to say Jimi Hendrix. The second verse, he's breaking down Billie Holiday. And then the third verse, that's when he starts talking about self. Now that you know that, go back and listen to that track and look at the masterpiece. Look at the masterpiece, bro.
This nigga played chess. God damn.
I'm gonna give you something else, right? Because all he wanted was a black Grand National. So I had to pull this up ahead of this because I knew we're going to talk about this. So this is actually coming from the site topspeed.com. And tell me if this is not Kendrick and Drake. So the title of this says the Buick GNX, which is the name of his album. Here's why this V6 powered 80s muscle car is worth a fortune today. Okay. Quote, it says, what started as a publicity stunt in the early 1980s, around the time that Kendrick was born, by Buick became a cultural icon and a true American legend. The underappreciated and overpowered coupe, though it took the market and speed community by storm, sounds like Kendrick, didn't receive the notoriety it deserved until after its heyday. This was largely due to the blemish it would put on GM's darling sports car of the era, the Corvette.
So Corvette was Drizzy.
Does not explain that right there.
He's a genius.
It's fucking everything. So between it dropping on
no round twos, baby. No round twos.
No round twos.
He got a what was the Steam award that's not even given to rappers? It's like given to like not dignitaries, but like
I know he's a
not Mark Twain.
Pulitzer. He had a
Pulitzer. He got a
Pulitzer.
He didn't get a Pulitzer for no reason.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the album was a masterpiece, and it's funny because that album came out when I was in Philadelphia at this Black Male Educators Convention, and I was hearing Dave had called me, and he talked to me about it, but I was so ingrained in the convention that I ain't really get time to like sit down and really dig into it. Right. But then as I'm chopping it up with different cats, I'm hearing rumblings. They're like, yo, Kendrick. Y'all heard that Kendrick? Again, I'm still not paying no attention to it. But you hear this floating around like Kendrick. And then when I heard that, and then Dave said, yo, did you hear Kendrick? Now I'm like, okay, now I've been hearing that. So let me check this out. I'm like, well, he got a song out? Nigga, no. He got a whole album. Man, I had to be in my room, and I was in the bathroom on the toilet, bro. Right. And I was at the Lowe's. I was in the Lowe's. So it was a nice room, nice bathroom. I took my JBL, you know what I'm saying? And I sat up there and I said, yeah, let me listen. Bro, I couldn't even get past the first song, bro. And then I'm on IG because IG is messing everything up because everybody's putting out these memes and stuff. So I'm skipping, and then I go to the Luther joint because I said Luther.
Right.
What? That's my mama, man. Luther. Man, I said, oh my God. Then I said, yeah, let me hear this heartbreak shit. I hear this. They using the SWV sample.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, yo. I said, yo. So he was so Dave hit me like, yo, you heard this? I'm like, bro, I'm stuck on these 3 songs right now. I couldn't even because I've been playing them over and over. No, that album was crazy.
Mustard.
I didn't even get to that one.
I think I might have called Dave first and said, "Hey, Kendrick got an album out. You lying?" Some shit like that. And then say, because I don't think Dave knew when I told him. Because I'm looking at it and he was like, did all of that, Earl, to your point, you know what that reminds me of? Remember the 5 mic days when someone dropped the album and then you had who was going to get that coveted 5 mics and everybody saying, "Did you hear this? Did you hear that? Did you hear
make up some new shit?"
That is the epicenter of the essence, I'm sorry, of hip hop. When someone says, "Hey, did you hear that new?" We don't hear that a lot these days. No one says that.
Nah.
Did you hear that new?
Album.
Yes, they don't. Yeah, man, just you know what?
Yeah.
Let's because we're gonna be here all night on this bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
I got shit to do.
Yeah, we do. Well, I mean, so are you barbecuing? What are you doing? You say when you got something to do. You say when you got something to do.
Oh, you want to know what I?
No.
So for all of our audio audience, there's an image on the screen right now of a big ass bottle of McRib sauce. That if you've been listening to the podcast for years, you know our brother, the storyteller, he is an avid McRib connoisseur. And we know that the McRib has made his way back. They have made his way back for this holiday season. But I don't know if Dave knew, because Dave, he barbecues like I do. So if you go on to the whole lot of McRibSauce.com, you can actually buy a half-gallon jug of the McRib sauce called a whole lot of McRib sauce. Did you know that?
I did not know that. No, I had my McRib already.
Motherfucker said,
but I mean, if you wanted to make your own ribs and do a goddamn McRib, right again, you can do the McRib sauce.
This some fat ass shit too. Like this some.
Hey.
I sent Dave a video. He showed a guy he made a rack of ribs. He removed, and after he did, he removed all the bones. He put it on like one of the French bread type shit. Had the barbecue sauce on it, added the pickles and the onions. Yeah, he's made your own McRib. So when I saw this, I was like, I've been saving this for several weeks now. I'm like, yo, I bet he has not seen this. So again, you can go to wholelotofmcribsauce.com while supplies last for $19.99 and get a half gallon of McRib sauce. I'm just saying.
You know what? I might have a McRib tomorrow.
Your stomach gonna be fucked up for the rest of the week.
Hey.
Oh man, before we got let's get some quick video game corner.
I actually do have something for video game corner.
What you got?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
I just saw something an hour ago that said Fortnite is
and Stephen A. Smith. I saw that part.
Nah, Fortnite has a big ass lawsuit that they lost.
Oh shit.
$72 million.
Gosh almighty.
That they have to pay out to people who play and bought Fortnite. They said how it's going to be disseminated. Well, they'll figure that out in the next couple of weeks or so. But they lost the $72 million lawsuit. Yeah. So you chill around here and play Fortnite. Hey, you might be on the receiving end of some of that.
Javen, keep playing because he's up there playing Fortnite right now.
Right now? All right, good.
I had this. If you guys haven't, we haven't done the pod, but I did start playing this game in the late night because I've been working so late.
White man with a whip. I don't know if I'm gonna play that shit.
For all our audio folks, the Indiana Jones and the game that dropped.
And he's a white man with a whip.
Bruh,
looking ready colonizer.
Take this guy out of here. He doesn't even know anything about Star Wars or anything like that. Fuck out of here. The game is so good, man. It is so good. It's gotten a 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9.2 out of 10.
Is it a storyline or is it?
Yes, it is, man. And you know what's crazy? It takes so much stuff from the actual films themselves. It looks so good. It is
They got the
great.
little Asian boy in it. I don't know. I don't remember his name.
We're trying to go into a year 5 of this. Don't.
I don't remember his name.
I don't remember his name either. Either way,
You ain't gonna make it.
it is fine. It's fantastic, man. And it is on Game Pass. So Earl, if you ain't got Game Pass, sorry.
I do got it.
No, I know. Last time we did some shit like this, you like, I had
No,
Game Pass.
I ended up getting
Xbox,
it.
so we can get your ass some free Game Pass, some shit. I don't know. But yeah, man, it's a really, really highly rated game. I play it if you haven't already. Enjoy it if you're a fan of the Indiana Jones series.
Shit, I got like 2 weeks off.
Look, shout out to NCAA football with the updates that they have. We just jumped back up on there. I was like, oh, this is moving a little bit smoother than what I remember. And then when you throw in the passes, I don't know if y'all saw the like bar that comes up and tested wise, and it's pretty dope. And they, well, I'll get into that later. And then another game that actually surprised me, and this joint is taking off, and shit, I had to download it. I got to get into it, but I saw my son playing it.
Right.
Have y'all checked out the Marvel Rivals?
Yes. Yes.
Like this is this. No, I'm telling you, Earl. Like this is.
It's legit. Man.
It's on some stuff right now.
If it's a fighting game, I don't want it. But if it's a storyline, I'll rock with it.
Listen, there's a lot of stuff going on there. I gotta deep dive a little bit more into it, but just go check the numbers.
It yet?
Google it. No, I watched Cam play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google it and check them numbers.
Yeah.
This ain't just a couple people downloading this thing.
Not at all. Not at all, my friend.
All right.
It's the video game time is really going to. I have to jump back. Again, the last few weeks I've been late night playing this here, but now everything's kind of evening out. So I did see that update that happened because when I turned the Xbox on, it said NCAA football is updating. I'm like, gosh almighty. And you can tell by the size of the update.
This was definitely
it was worth it. Yeah, it was worth it.
So we'll definitely dive back into that there because we've been waiting on that for eons. So absolutely. The video game space is pretty dope. Since then, we haven't seen anything new about Grand Theft Auto 6, which will probably, I think after New Year, I saw something really quick that we should see a new update. And as of right now, I'm still waiting on see what the hell's going on with City Skylines 2. Depressing. This is what we do. Yeah. So let me switch out to the regular space because I don't want to get down and go back to our regular screen. But I'm glad to see that Earl to contribute something to Video Game Corner. It's cool. Somebody can, I'm gonna tell my son go to keep playing Fortnite. So of course, this podcast wouldn't be what it is if we hadn't taken our Xbox Live conversation over to the podcast space, which this is where we are right now. So of course, you can find me on Xbox at Sanaa2x.com. And again, I don't know if you guys have. Shout out to everybody who has added me as their friend. Dead ass. I still play that poker game. The damn, what is the one? It's also the P. The one y'all put me on to. It's like if you played, you know what I'm talking about. So it's Pinnacle? It's not Pinnacle. But is it? I looked into like my messages and it was like XYZ has added you as their friend. I'm like, wow, I didn't add anyone. So obviously people listen to our goddamn podcast. If you guys looked at the stat sheet that I put up there the other day, we have quite a few people who listen to us out of Singapore. So shout out to everybody in Singapore. Because there's a lot of y'all who listen to our podcast. It ain't no bot. There's a lot of y'all listen to us. So I appreciate you guys. People around Baltimore, down in Florida, DC, and I forgot the other city. I do apologize. So we appreciate you guys for a pretty good year, man. We know we were a little bit down on the recording this year. We did a total of about 25 episodes podcast wise, but you add that on top of what everything we did on Football Talk. We're glad to see we'll bring you guys some really dope content this year. But again, Sanaa2x, find me on Xbox. And what else? Don't Worry, I'll Wait 4 is on Bandcamp right now. What you got?
And J Fatboy 973. I had to think about my name because I ain't playing in a minute.
Fair enough. What you got, Dave?
The storyteller. Let's see. Real quickly, you jump on Netflix, check out the movie Carry On. Joint is dope.
Okay.
Great movie. Also check out the series Cross. Pretty addictive series there. You know what? I gotta say this part.
Go ahead.
Rhythm and Flow. If you know about that show,
Second
with,
season,
Ludacris and who's on it now? Lotto and DJ
Cardi B was on the first season.
yeah,
right?
she was on the first season.
Lotto's the one now.
When I seen her, I turned it off.
When I tell you, you can ask y'all sis about this. The disappointment that came across my face when they announced the person that won, and I watched the whole thing.
Right.
I kind of don't want to hear from any of those three, and I'm a Ludacris fan at all when it comes to music, if that's what won. It was the biggest crock of shit I've ever seen. It was a straight up, hey, this artist is from ATL, and since Ludacris and Lotto are both from there, it was, hey, let me just put it this way, save you the trouble.
Oh, I ain't gonna watch
no, but I'm just gonna tell you, one of the rounds, the person that won, one of the rounds, he couldn't catch the beat at all.
You serious?
Couldn't catch the beat at all, bro. And I'm sitting there and I was like, ain't no way. And he got through that round. And then the next round he got through.
The guy
and we're
with the
sitting
hair?
back joking with us. No. This guy, it's so bad. Let me just put it that way. He's so bad. Like the odds of him winning this joint from any real artist watching would have been like the biggest upset known to man in sports. Like it was bad. And to have some of the other artists that come in that starred within this series, like a Eminem, like a Busta Rhymes, and people like that, I would say delete me from the series with the person that won. I don't even want to be a part of it in that type of sense. So yeah, they probably lost somebody on that sense. Third thing is thanks, babe. You ruined what I worked for the whole year. Yes, I'm speaking to my baby upstairs because she has tapped into my Spotify so much I can't even enjoy my Wrapped joint at the end of the year because all of it is I'm sorry to say it like this, church music. So thanks, babe. My number 1, my number 2, my number 3, my number 4, my number 5 top song are songs that I haven't even listened to.
Take me to the king. So who are the artists?
I can tell you right now, it's probably just one. Hold on a second. I'm gonna tell you in a second, just because you asked. If I go in and I go to
see if it's people I listen to
your rap, John. Brian Courtney Wilson, Brian Courtney Wilson, Brian Courtney Wilson, Brian Courtney Wilson, Brian Courtney Wilson.
All right, let me check him out because I ain't never heard of him.
It's mostly Brian Courtney Wilson on there. I thought they would show me my list, but I think I would have to go through the whole breakdown. But yeah, I can't even enjoy my my rap. So thanks on that. But lastly, blessings to the Almighty, because in less than 1 hour, I'm finally another age older. So gotta go knock out this present that I was about to tell Sean about. And then and peace and blessings. Yeah, definitely a barbecue.
Yeah, all right. All right, let's end this shit.
Definitely blessed to all you guys going into 2025. We appreciate you guys. Rock with us this year. Last thing, because I know we're going into 2025. We want to give best wishes to our outgoing president, who just recently decided he wanted to pardon Michael Conahan, the judge who was involved in the Cash for Kids whole conspiracy thing. So good job, guys. They ain't shit.
hot seat.